Okay, so pre-live checklist, correct, but why do I have no image? Oh!
Oh, you just can't leave the lens cap on when you want people to see your face. But I think the bigger question is, which camera do I look at? And how many cameras do I need? Do I need to get 3 more angles? I don't even know. I'm not even ready for this entire show. I better end this right now.
Seven, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Well, remember last week our audio was muted, so I thought maybe this week we'd show up with our, I don't want to jinx it, but the video frozen or muted. And why does every time the camera turns to us, I get butterflies?
I don't know, because it feels like there's some expectation.
An expectation that you are what gives me the butterflies. So,
I see.
You know, I was a compliment.
That is, I take it as one.
Yeah, so lots of things going on tonight, but what is most important is what, Tim?
Well, you guys, obviously.
I threw him on the spot. we had nothing to say there.
It's you guys.
Except the fact.
Anyways, we should let him know who you are. People know who you are.
I know. I'm just like, is the music good? Was it loud enough? How was the intro? Facebook bumped us last week because of the intro. So I said, hey, let's give it a try again and see if Facebook bumps us. But
Yeah.
I'm Dana Ladder with Fly Fishing Bow Rubber Outfitters Thursday Night Live. And most importantly, I'm here tonight with my best friend and guide, Far. You thought I was going to say you.
I was waiting for best
And
friend.
you,
And me.
Tim,
Wow.
Ithy.
Yes.
You weren't here for the pre-live live. Were you here
No.
for the pre-live live where we unboxed the package that came from Shore Fishing today in collaboration with Rocky Mountain Fly Shop? Speaking of Rocky Mountain Fly Shop, where'd you get that hoodie tonight, Tim?
I did. I got that today at Rocky Mountain Fly Shop. Now carrying Rep Your Water gear.
And
cool.
a lot of it.
Yeah, they
they're
got lots of
carrying
it.
a lot of it. So these, you guys have a drink. Drink
Yeah.
with me. Have a sip. Water, bubblies, whatever you want.
Hard to beat the good old Riverfest, though.
And one of my new favorites, this Weizenbach, which is a dark, fruity,
And smooth.
warm.
Warm.
Dark, fruity, warm. And now, how is that actually a beer?
I don't know, but it is.
But it's a good beer.
It is
And
good.
it's strong and it's tall. So by the time you guys share this video 384 times,
Why is
Tim
the
will...
I thought you were saying for yourself. See, that number got a lot bigger for you to have to chug than me.
Oh, it's 7,000
Oh,
if
for you.
I chug.
I see.
But
Yeah, it
yeah, so little ground rules tonight is that we're gonna tie 2 flies. Eventually, we're gonna have a lot of fun doing it. And if the off chance this stream shuts down, we will be right back up. So look for us again. Feel free to share this because your friends also want to know what you're doing tonight. And if you share it, you can say, hey, I'm here hanging out with Dana and Tim and 100 and some other people who Thursday night seems to be, well, it's my favorite night. And
Definitely
I
my
know
favorite
that
night.
reading the comments here, a lot of you guys are also enjoying Thursday nights. Introduce yourself, Tim Hepworth from Fly Fishing Bow Rubber Outfitters.
Well, you just did it for me, but yes, I am Tim Hepworth from Fly Fishing Bow Rubber Outfitters. Here to tie a few flies for you guys tonight. Maybe successfully, maybe not. We'll wait to see how that goes.
Tim's nervous.
I'm
You
not
guys have to
nervous.
know that every time the show starts, like 5 minutes, like we were hectic tonight. We had a delivery come at 6 o'clock,
Yeah.
dark 30 last. Is that a reference for last minute?
Mm-hmm.
A last minute delivery from our friends at Drift Out West Fly Fishing, and I have not even opened the box. It's behind me, and we'll get to that. We'll get to that later because they have some more stuff for you guys in the whole giveaway thing.
It's awesome.
Also, thanks to people who booked trips this week. Also, thanks to people who bought stickers. And speaking of stickers, were these here last week?
Not that one.
Okay. How about this one?
You're covering
Let's-
the best message.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you even mend?
Do you even mend? Do you know what mending is? These other ones have been here for a while, but then we got refilled on some of the Thursday Night Live fly tying stickers, so you guys can put it on your favorite fly box, your buddy's boat, or your grandma's car. And it's
Definitely.
what else did we get? Hang on.
I'd love to see. Just
Why don't
Thursday
you
Night
tell
Live
everybody-
photos everywhere.
Why don't you, and we want to see pictures where you put your stickers, and then we can feature them here on the show. But Tim, why don't you tell everyone what is Thursday Night Live, and yeah, something like that.
Yeah, I can tell you what that's about. So Thursday Night Live, what it comes down to is it's a tying night show, if you will, that's really about bringing the community together. So originally we were in a brewery with just the local Calgary crew. We always broadcasted it live on Facebook, and we had we reached as many people as we could. Since COVID, we've been in the studio, and the show has definitely taken on new wings and has grown in a lot of really positive ways. And as you can see in the people who are in watching tonight, it's really grown into an international thing where we've been able to reach a lot more people, and you guys have been able to reach us and touch our lives is hopefully the same that we've been able to do a little bit of that for you. So on a regular Thursday night live episode, what we do, Dana kind of already alluded to it, we tie 2 different patterns. So tonight we're going to be tying a kind of a fun night. It's a couple of dry flies. So we're going to tie a Yellow Humpy dry fly, and we're going to do a purple Beetle. And basically what we do is, this year was the first year that we actually put together all the seasons, or the episodes, we'll call it a season, being one complete box full of these guys here, which is 1 through 20 episodes. So tonight's going to be episode 11. We've tipped over halfway, which is crazy. And so if you ordered the kits from us at the start of the season, we'll be tying right out of that kit for you guys. So you're going to have the same materials we are, just to kind of streamline it. If not at home, if you're at home, I will tell you the materials that we're going to use before we start the fly, so you can gather them up quickly. Tonight's materials are very simple. So in each package, what do you get? So we take.
What do you get? I
What do
forgot
we get?
all the new sound effects I had.
Oh man, crushed. I'm crushed.
I'll figure out what I can do.
So what you get in your package, you're going to get each one of the patterns tied once already for you, and then you're going to get enough material roughly to tie it 2 times more. Sometimes there's lots of extra of certain materials and maybe a little short on others, and hopefully if that's the case, you've got some to spare in other places. But yeah, so we've got enough, hopefully, to come out of each package about 6 flies. And what we do every night is, yes, we do tie some flies, but hopefully we connect on a deeper level and we get to sit here and enjoy each other's company.
Yes.
Me and Dana get to definitely do that, and basically what makes the show go round and round is you guys and your engagement. So reach out with questions. It does not just pertaining to what we're doing at the moment, anything really, whether it's life-based, tying-based, fly fishing, whatever it might be. It's really your guys' comments that keep this interactive, and don't have to just interact with us. You can interact with each other, which makes it a lot super
100%.
fun. And that's we've seen some pretty cool friendships born off of TNL just from guys hanging out and watching. So
Yeah, so that's a big thing here is that sometimes you guys will ask questions. We try hard. My job is to try to run things and keep things moving smoothly. And Tim's going to tie the flies, and so I'm trying to get him with the questions, so feel free to ask the questions. We'll do our best to answer them. If we do miss a question, there's a lot of really awesome people who tune in, and so if you're new, trust me, there's no dumb questions. We can basically go right back to the start of how to put thread on a hook. We have no problem doing that because we do have people from all different levels of tying, and some people are brand new tonight. So introduce yourself. Let us know where you're from. What's your drink of choice tonight? What's your favorite beer, whiskey, bubbly, Diet Pepsi, Coke, whatever you decide to drink tonight. We also don't judge. Oh, look, Jen Lyle's in the house.
Ooh,
we also don't judge that. But speaking of judging, we're going to go floating tomorrow. And the real Jen Lyle, the fake Jen Lyle.
I think it's not the real Jen Lyle for sure.
Oh, I put my microphone on the wrong side, Tim. Because every time I turn to look at you, they can't hear me.
Well, you know that thing is on the cord that might just be able to
do have an idea to help fix that. But first of all, folks, I rambled, you rambled, and there's going to be a lot of rambling tonight. But what we have to be cautious of is that we don't ramble too much, that we forget to show
the baking
the
cam.
baking cam. And tonight, folks, we've got a split menu, a trifecta of all things sugar and cocoa. We have on the bottom right of your screen the maple bacon donut from our friends in Crossfield, Alberta, the Donut Man. And the top 2 cupcakes, Tim, is that a Reese's peanut butter?
That is.
Tim picked those up from a local bake shop in Olds, Alberta called Cocoa Tree Bake Shop. So, folks, once the show gets on its way, I will head backstage here and I will start eating those treats. Unless Tim beats me to them. So I keep him busy on camera tying flies because, hey, those are my treats. And so we'll come back to the baking cam. And if you're getting hungry, we encourage you to head down to the fridge, call Skip the Dishes, whatever you do, but get some baking going because I think baking, I got to switch this mic over. Tim, why don't you tell us? Let's go back to the fly.
as well.
I
as
muted your
a brown.
microphone there.
Oh, good.
So it was just because I didn't want you talking when I was doing other things.
Well, that's fair. That's fair.
So now that people just awkwardly stared at this yellow humpy for a long time, wondering what
I
is
was
happening,
saying.
we are back. The audio's on, and most of all, Tim's favorite sound effect. So, yeah, do explain to people. I think I forgot to, they didn't hear me say about the shameless Norvise plug because the camera was in the wrong spot. But hey, we're not perfect, and we're far from it. So do go explain this first fly again.
So all I was doing, guys, is giving you a heads up of what materials we're going to use. So we're going to tie it pretty simply tonight. We're going to use just one type of hair. We're going to tie with some deer or elk hair. Doesn't make too big a difference. We're going to be using some yellow thread, or if you're in your kit, you also have this yellow yarn that we can wind up, tie it in and wind up if you don't have yellow thread. But yellow thread makes it the easiest. And it doesn't have to be yellow. We're just tying a yellow version. It really could be any color, and it's going to be just fine, so don't worry about that. Then we're also using one grizzly hackle, and we're going to use one darker brown kind of variant. And that's what's going to make the wing. And we're going to build a wing out of the deer hair, and I'm going to show you how we measure all that and fold it back over itself and whatnot. So we're tying it on a size 12 hook tonight, so it's a little bit larger, which should make our lives a little easier.
Yes.
Yeah.
And sometimes we haven't done that all year, but we've tried to do a little bigger flies because they're a little easier to learn on. And then you guys can upsize, downsize those to be... So looks like there's some technical difficulties going in around the world, and it's not just us. And Cam's computer is not doing well, and Novlan is tried 8 Wi-Fi signals, and he's back. So Benoit from shore, we just woke up his girlfriend with the air horn that...
Give me a break.
Give me a break. That's it. But if he wants... Yeah.
Now she's up.
I didn't even, you know what? The whole reason I went to the fly cam was because I was going to put my mic on the other side.
And you didn't even do that.
But, folks, have you seen these Thursday Night Live keychains?
Boom.
And we went over this in the pre-show show earlier today. But yeah, these are not for sale. These are just going to be giveaways. So we will give some of those, some of these. When Tim starts tying, that's when I start filling up the giveaway box. And you need a bingo card. So have you gotten your bingo card? And if you have not got your bingo card,
you should
go to www.flyfishingbowriver.com/Thursday Night Live. And there's a link there that will take you to a space in the interweb that will allow you to enter your email, which will then send you an email. And that email will probably go in your junk mail, so check your junk mail. And when you click on it, you will then have your, Jim, this is for you, your bingo card.
There it is.
And so yeah, we do play bingo here. We do a lot of really interesting things, but the fly tying is why we started this. But we have to say thanks to a couple friends of ours, and then halfway through the show, we got a little bit of a film to show you guys. And I think a lot of the people in that film are here watching tonight. And so we'll show that at halftime. It's 7:20. Halftime happens around 8 usually. So let's just say thanks to the people who helped make this show happen. And we will be back in uno momento.
With the amount of time we spend in front of our vices, don't you think you deserve a pair of scissors that can make the cut?
There are a lot of great rotary vices on the market, but only the Norvise spins the hook. It's for this reason that it's been said the Norvise is the most innovative fly tying system on the market.
We all deserve the right to stay organized, no matter what or where your space is.
Your fly Kia table will turn any space into a well-organized fly tying realm. Own your domain.
Boom. There it is, folks. So the question that I'm seeing in the comments is all the bingo cards we've ever given out are good. I know it says episode 8 on it, but I didn't know that the bingo cards would last more than a week, so I made it specific. Do you say specifically or specifically?
Definitely an S first.
I have this, my mustache keeps curling into my mouth, so I just lay it, and I still didn't change my mic
Nope,
over.
You had a whole minute to do it.
I had a whole minute to do it.
You sat here staring at me.
But yes, all bingo cards, there's not a new bingo card. It's the bingo cards that you have had for the last 8, 9, 10, and now 11. So this will be 4, and I think they will expire eventually. So this keychain, it doesn't have a bottle opener, but that's why God gave you teeth. I remember the good old days when your teeth wouldn't break, but now with all of the sugar foods and things like this, that makes your teeth decay a little quicker, folks. That is the baking cam, and look at that. Oh yeah, okay. Too much of that. Sean Ellison watching with my 7-year-old girl tonight. Many questions. Don't worry, guys. She can't read English yet. Well, Cam, you're safe to keep being Cam. Yourself. Okay, checking the commercials, and then what we're gonna do. Oh, SOS. Sven's here. Picking up dinner for the family and won't be home for 20 minutes. Well, hey, guess what, folks? We should just end the show.
Yeah, no
And
Sven,
when Sven
no
texts
show.
me, and by dinner, he means Fruity Pebbles and Red Bull.
Yes.
And as soon as he's back, we will get the show started. Trout Maharishi, Sifikotuli. Checking the mic, making as if no one's laughing at my jokes. Okay, yes. So
Sure that thing's on?
Tom, thanks for sharing the link in there. I was only born with 2 hands and 10 fingers, and I got 14. I do have the overhead camera here, but it's not working because life. I wish you guys could see this setup behind the scenes, the amount of wires and fire hazards that are happening.
It's real.
Yes, careful, you'll catch the diabetes. That is true. If you eat all of those, you will. Okay, so let's do this. Everybody's got their bingo cards? We're not doing bingo yet. We're gonna start. What thread did you tell them? Which thread? Maybe it was.
Yeah, we're gonna use either a 140 UTC on this guy in yellow, or your choice of color, or that would be equivalent to a 3/0 if you're using a.
All right.
Yeah, if you're using like a uni thread. Yep.
Okay. Matthew York has just chosen the number 333. Looks like he wins. He wins everything. You get the Norvise. You get Tim. He comes with the Norvise. He sits in your shop and ties you whatever flies you need for the day.
Whew.
But yeah, let's get to tying some flies, folks. And then I'll get some bingo going, and we'll do all those fun things, and I'll eat a donut. And yes, Cody definitely makes Thursdays worth. I wake up today and I'm giddy.
Yep.
And Janine's like, what's it? Thursday? I'm like, it's Thursday.
Thursday.
It's something. It makes me so pumped.
Something to look forward to.
Yeah, because and then we did the pre-show, and then all you guys were coming into that, and then Scott, good question. I'm gonna answer that quickly.
Yep.
So it was very fun to do the pre-show, open the box of goodies, the things. If you guys haven't seen it, we got a whole bunch of stuff from Shore. We got scissors, we got nippers, we got shirts, hats. We got lots of stuff to give away. I don't know if we'll get them all given away tonight, but we're going to definitely give a good punch of stuff away.
Yes.
So, Tim,
A must.
you are about to tie some flies.
About to tie some flies. All right. Okay, so we are going to tie the Yellow Humpy first. We're just calling it a Yellow Humpy.
Oh, yeah. The question was, what does it imitate?
Yeah.
So it is a stimulator-ish pattern, buggy. Mayfly, could be a caddis. It is probably more of a prospecting fly, but I tie this thing in darker olive green and fish the western green drake hatch that we have out here. And I guarantee you would absolutely crush it. Those bugs are, unlike most mayflies, they're short and stout. They look like they've been at the gym like Tim. And they would definitely hammer this one down.
Yes.
But is it like a lot of flies? They don't really imitate the exact pattern. They're more like a very effective buggy fly. This thing will ride high on the water because of the hackle on the front. And yeah, so prospect with it. You can tie a dropper underneath of it too.
Yeah.
It's probably not a hatch specific fly unless you tied it in dark olive, and then I would definitely fish it in the Western Green Jake hatch, or Jocks is in the house. I will see you on Tuesday, my friend. Purple.
Yeah.
Purple. Fish love purple. Why do fish love purple? We would ask Bruce Cole like we did a couple years ago, but he said he's not a fish. So
we don't always know why they trout love.
okay,
purple.
do you use green hair for it? No, I wouldn't. I would just use your natural your hair, but the underneath. Tim, just turn the vise just a bit, please. See the yellow under there? That's where you're gonna change your colors to purple, to green, to red. Easy to put them all in your fly box. Okay, folks, I gotta change my mic. I gotta get the giveaways ready, and it's Tim's turn.
All right, let's do it, guys. So yeah, like Dane said, I would say this probably goes more to the mayfly side, but it definitely could cross over lots of different things. Just in the style that it's tied is more of a mayfly pattern. And yeah, I mean, really, there's ultimately, you could vary this fly as far as the colors are concerned. You'll see why we would maybe like to stay with a lighter colored hair instead of going to like black or something, just because of how we tie the wing in. It's all about measuring the deer hair length so you can use the tips of it to actually create the, as you see here in the wing, you can see that the actual wing itself here and here is deer hair, and then hackle kind of surrounds it. So we'll take you through how we do that. But yeah, don't worry about the thread color. You can pretty much do it with whatever thread you have.
I got my mic switched.
Oh, there you go. Looks good.
I'm looking at you right now.
Now you're looking at me.
Oh, that feels so much better, guys, girls, everyone in the house.
So let's first start off by getting that hook secured in our vise.
Wow!
Wow, look at that.
Impressed.
Oh yeah.
Look at that.
I'm not really going to use that function, but just because I can. So we're going to start this thread, guys, and now what I kind of like about this pattern is it's actually a lot about measuring. We're going to talk about measuring the hair length. We're going to talk about placement, switching hands, all these things, because like other patterns, like a pheasant tail, if you're to tie it properly, you actually are using like one length of pheasant tail and you're folding it back and all these things come out of it just based off of how you measure it.
And the SOS, tell them about that. Just
the SOS? Oh yeah, so if you at any time need me to slow down, stop, repeat, just type in SOS in the comments and we will stop. We'll find out what you need from us. If it's just need to catch up, then we'll just take a break. We are in no rush to get through this today. Dry flies can be intimidating because they are normally smaller, a little bit more technical to tie, and I would agree that that is true. So just don't hesitate, slow us down if you need us to, and we'll get through these two tonight, okay? All right. Okay, so we're gonna come in and start this thread right about at the halfway point of the hook, okay? We're gonna come in like so, and we're just gonna work our thread back to the hook bend. We don't wanna tip off the back, so if I were to come down into here,
this hook size, Jason, is a 12.
It's a 12, yeah. See the difference between being down in the bend and being up on top of the bend. So we want to tie that tail in and have it stay nice and horizontal, not tipping off the edge. So we want to go basically, if you're to leave your, on most of these dry fly hooks, if you leave your bobbin hanging, it would be right at the barb of the hook. Okay, so we'll come in there, we'll get that up. And then we're just going to bring our thread back to just ahead of that halfway point. Okay, so everything's going to be measured off of the hook shank itself. We don't want to, I'll back this off a little bit, about to the point of the hook, just for tying in the tail, and then we'll come back up. We don't want to put any thread ahead of that yet because that's going to be our measurement, and we're going to use that to measure in the next wing that we tie. So go ahead and grab the deer hair that you have. We're not going to take a very large clump to tie in the tail. It's going to be a little on the smaller side. And you're not going to really figure that out until it's in your hands. I would say cut more than you think you're going to need. But just be aware with what we have in your packages there, you can see those flies. You can kind of guess on how much hair you're gonna need for the tail. I just grabbed about a decent clump, but nothing too crazy. What we're gonna do with this is I'm gonna pull out all the underfur, okay, so we don't want any of that fluff in there. We're gonna get that out, and then we're gonna stack this in your hair stacker, okay? We wanna align those tips because they're not all perfectly aligned yet.
You meant the deer stacker.
The deer stacker.
But can you adjust the tension on the rotary function on the Vise?
Yes, you can. So if I dial down on my knob over here, it would slow this down. This would turn really slow if I chose for it to. But also this knob on the back, I pull it out to spin, I push it in to lock it. So when it's locked, it's not gonna move on me at all. And some people have issues if they put their hand, they rest their hand on the vise, that they actually bump that off. But it's as easy as just clicking it back in. And then you also have all these stages that you can click it down so it can't turn at whatever angle you want to see it at. Yeah, just kind of neat.
That deserves a
Wow.
A wow.
Okay, so deer hair into your stacker.
Oh yeah, the deer stacker. Put your deer in the stacker, folks.
Couple of good taps to get it all aligned. And then what we want to do is we want to pull it off in the direction that it's going to go and that we're going to lay it down. And so I pulled that off in that direction. What I want to do is come in here and grab those tips with these fingers. And you got to get good at switching hands with materials because those are aligned, but I should be able to come in here, switch hands without losing those tips. And so how I do that is I come in and I grab with those fingers before I let go with the other ones, then I can let go. And then I know that those tips are still going to be aligned underneath my fingers, okay? So I'm going to switch one more time here because what I need to do is I need to measure a tail that's a full hook length in length. So I basically come in here and I've rested my fingers on the eye of the hook and then I lay that deer hair down and we want it to extend right to the back bend of the hook, and that's where I know that my measurement is. Now I look at this, I think I'm a little heavy on the amount that I have in this tail, so I'm gonna pull out a few fibers so it's not too heavy. But having a nice like bolsterous tail is good. You want it to be a little bit more plump than, let's say, a regular mayfly tail where you just have a few little fibers. Now I'll remeasure, make sure that's good. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come in and I'm gonna tie that in right at the point of the hook. So I've left my thread there. So I'm gonna switch hands again. And now when I did that, I can see that not all those fibers are even. So I wanna come in here and just snip those out, remembering what my measurement was. And when I lay this down, I'll do my clockwise spin for me because I'm left-handed. That's gonna cause my thread to jump rearward. If you're right-handed, you just do a counterclockwise. Now I'm gonna secure that material down and I want to kind of hold it up so it stays up on top of the hook as I wrap rearward to where the barb sits. So we don't want it to be any farther than that because if I go farther, I'll do a couple wraps so you can see. If I were to do that, it takes the tail and it causes it to go down into the bend, which we don't want, okay? So we're gonna keep that up on top and there we have our tail, okay? I know it looks, it's tough because it looks a little long. It does look like, oh man, that's a long, but promise me we need it to be a full hook shank in length because we're gonna do the next measurement off of that same thing, okay? So I'm gonna bring my thread back forward and now we're gonna bring our thread to just beyond the halfway mark, just in front of it, not by much, but a little. So basically right where my thread's sitting would be just ahead of the halfway mark. We don't wanna crowd the front end of this fly because trust me, once we start wrapping that hackle and building our wing, it gets to be a bit of a hassle if we didn't leave ourselves the room that we should have, okay? So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come in with my hair again. What I want you to do is go cut off a nice bigger clump than the last one by probably about 2 times the thickness. I like on this one to cut off much more than I need and then I'll thin it out as I see fit. So I'm gonna come in, I'm gonna cut some out and now I'm just gonna take and get out all that underfur, okay? I'm gonna get that all out. And my tips are not aligned at all in this stuff, but I'm gonna align it here in just momentarily. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead, now that I've got that cleaned out, I'm just gonna put it in my stacker. And I'm gonna get those tips stacked. And once I have that, then we're gonna make our next measurement, okay? So I come in here, get those good and stacked again. Again, I wanna pull those off so that the points are headed rearward. Okay, I'm gonna come in here and grab with my fingers. But I'm pretty happy with that. That might be a little bit heavy, but the thing is with this fly, we don't really need a lot of color to show underneath, right? So we just need to see just on the very bottom that color come through with the thread. And what we're actually going to do is we're going to be using these tips to form our wing here shortly. So how we do our measurement, and then we fold back, and I'll show you how that's going to work. So what we're going to do is I'm going to first come in here like so. I'm going to measure off the point of the hook again, or sorry, off the eye of the hook again, okay? So I'm going to measure it this time, and I want the tips of my wing to match the tips of my tail, okay? So I want them to come in and be even. That's where our next measurement's going to be. Okay, so right there. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch hands. I'm going to keep that place marked, and I'm going to come in and I'm going to trim off those butts right there. Okay, so now I have that in my fingers here. I'm not going to move it again because I'm going to tie in those, tie in with these butts right where they are. So I want to make sure that my thread is just ahead of that halfway mark, which it looks like it is pretty good here. Maybe adjust it just a little bit forward. I always do this. You end up adjusting it forward and then you run out of room, but it's a learning experience when you're tying these flies. So now all I'm going to do is I'm going to lay the butts of that deer hair down right on top of the hook there. At that point I have left, I'm going to again do my spin, let my thread jump rearward, grab onto those butts, do one more extra wrap, and then start to pinch. You're going to see it flare just a little bit, and that's good. We're going to advance our thread forward slightly, make sure we lock that down. Now I need to pull that deer hair up nice and high, and I'm going to start taking wraps rearward, okay? The whole time I'm holding on to that deer hair because I want it to stay up on top of the hook, okay? I don't want that to go down along the sides or onto the bottom.
Question about the tail hair splaying like the front of an elk hair caddis.
Take some tension off that tail then. So when you're tying it in, right, you'll notice right when I got to the back here, I didn't pull tight on my thread because that would have flared it. I'm just taking almost like loose wraps and wrapping back over it, and that will secure it without flaring it. Because the flare, we don't want flare in that tail. We want it to be fairly flat in appearance. Okay?
So just kind of explain, it's a good time to talk about it, but like collecting wraps, like different tensions, I guess I could say, on wraps that cause things to do deer
Funny
hair,
things.
different things.
Yeah, so I mean, we have so many different things when it comes to tension, and times to apply tension, times not to apply tension. If we want something to flare, obviously we add more tension. If we want something to lay flat, then we will use less tension and more wraps, because all we're going to do is compound the pressure over more wraps instead of having one tight one. Because if we do a nice tight wrap, it's obviously going to flare that. Okay. A gathering wrap is just what it sounds like. All I'm doing is I'm putting a new material in, and I'm using that first wrap to gather the material and bind it to the hook, and then I can start working back onto the material. But until I've gathered it, as that term says, and pulls it to the hook, then I can't really move forward. And a gathering wrap can, like what I did here where I'm wrapping back over that hair, every one of those is gathering more hair. That's a gathering wrap. That little technique that I just showed you where I spun my bobbin, so if you're a right-hand tire, if you were to spin your bobbin counterclockwise, what's that doing is it's causing the thread to wound this way, so that when I go to take a wrap, it actually causes the thread to jump up onto the material that I'm tying in, which is advantageous, instead of if you were to spin it the other way, it actually spin away from the material, and then you wouldn't be able to grab it.
So we talked about that a few episodes ago, and would it be safe to say that you spin it the opposite way you want it to?
So I spin it towards the direction of the material. So if I'm coming in here with my right hand and laying material down, and my thread's hanging here, I would spin it towards the material. Okay, so if I was coming in from this direction, I'd be spinning it the other way. So for you guys, if you're right-handed, your hook would be on the other side, facing their direction. I would spin the bobbin towards that material because that's what's causing it to jump towards it. Yeah.
So think of it less confusing. Spin it to the right, and when you wrap it, it goes to the left. It's like an opposite effect.
Not really.
So it goes the same direction.
It goes the same direction. So watch what I do here. I'm going to unwind this so it doesn't want to go the way I want. So
you want it to go to the back of the fly.
I want it to go to the back of the fly. So
you spin it to the right.
If I spin it, I'm going to spin it to the left first. See what it does?
Goes to the
it
left.
winds away.
Yeah.
Whereas if I come in here and I spin to the left, that first wrap wants to jump. See how it jumped back against my hand? And then I would be coming down onto the material, and I'd get a good grip on it.
So I would conclude, because I bet you, if you're confused, take a drink. Okay, hang on.
That always helps. That always helps. It's these little finite things, guys, that when you get tying a lot, you actually are going to use all the time. And they're important because it makes your life easier. Because I remember in the start, I'm like, oh, missed it. Oh, missed it. You're trying to grab the material and it keeps jumping away.
Yeah.
Just that quick little spin is going to cause it to jump towards the material.
And yeah, so that's why I'm stopping here, because it is a powerful tip that we all have to try to understand here, because when you're collecting things like hair or a bundle of something, you do want it to jump the right way so that it grabs that material and doesn't jump away, because it's really frustrating. So
Super frustrating when you're trying to work with it.
So I would conclude, because I do it but I can't, I'm trying to think of like,
it's like the whip finish. It's hard
like,
to explain.
yeah. So I think if you spin it to the back of the fly and you wrap it, it's going to go to the back of the fly. So it
Very
will
good,
go. So hopefully that makes sense for you guys.
Goes the direction you spin it, really.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
So I've just kind of taken a little pause here, guys. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to lift that material back up. I'm going to make sure I didn't take any of the tail fibers in there. And now I'm going to keep taking these wraps back until I meet the tail. But again, I don't want to go down into the bend, because then it's going to cause everything to tip over the edge. Okay. And now I'm just going to come back and I'm going to build a really nice base here. Okay. Because it looks like it's this huge buildup. And we're gonna have this big drop to the hook, and that's okay, because that's where we're gonna wrap the hackle. So it's meant to look that way. We're gonna fold this hair back over. We need to create a nice even base of thread underneath this hair,
Which is your body.
which is the body of the fly.
And that's where we talk about changing the color: purple, red, green.
Yeah. And so if you guys at home didn't have the yellow thread and you wanted to use some of the floss that we put in with you guys, I'll just show you quickly what I would do if I was using the floss, okay? So if I didn't have thread, I would have built up the body with some thread. I'd have come in here, taken a gathering wrap on that floss, and then I would have just wrapped this back over all that thread wraps just to cover it up, because I would have already had the bulk. And that gives me that nice yellow color, okay? And now you can get creative here. What I've just done with this, maybe I did a yellow and I wanted to do a black thread to make it look like it was, partitioned into pieces of a
Variegated.
Yeah, whatever you wanted to do. There's so many options.
Mark broke his thread.
It happens, bud. It happens to the best of us and the worst of us.
a lot of aha moments and a lot of moments.
But this is what it's about, guys.
Yes.
I know it's hard to believe that we have the capacity to do this, but we do try to plan flies throughout the season to build on each other, to give you techniques that will hopefully make your life easier moving forward. And we want you to ask questions, because as questions comes up, this is the perfect time to answer them, and it gives me a break from what I'm doing too. Okay.
Why do you need? If you need a break, Tim, you just gotta say, "I need a break."
Am I allowed to say SOS? Oh.
Oh, yeah, there it is. The maple bacon donut from our friends at Donut Man in Crossfield, Alberta. If you haven't been, I highly suggest it. They have nothing to do with us promoting this other than it's close, and I needed a donut for the bacon cam. And the cupcakes Tim brought from Cocoa Tree Bake Shop in Olds, Alberta, Canada.
Oh, yeah.
I do not know what kind they are, but I will know after the show is winding down.
When you start to eat them.
All right, that's how Tim takes a break.
Yeah. It's a good break. I like it. Okay, so I'm going to lift all that deer hair back up, trying to clear out, make sure I didn't take any of the tail with it. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold this over. Now, really important here, guys, that when I fold this over, I'm going to be putting some thread wraps back over top of it up here. But what I don't want is I don't want to wrap any. So I'm going to advance my thread now, guys, because I've got that thing marked there, so it's fine. But I want something for that deer hair to bind to when I come down with it. So I'm going to lay down a couple of spans of that stuff. Leave my thread just in front of that bump. And now as I bring this deer hair back and I fold it over, what I want to do is make sure that all that deer hair stays up on the top and the sides of the fly, but does not go over to the bottom. Okay, so I'm going to come in here and pinch it like so to make sure I've got that measurement proper. I'm going to take that spin I talked about again. And I like to get one spin on it, come and grab here.
Judd Cherry says, "Sweet Jesus and the Mary Chain, you're killing me with those donuts."
Good, good, good. So all I've done is I've taken that, and I'll show you the underside. So that's still showing. I didn't cover it all, but I want that nice, as it's termed, the humpy. We want that hump of deer hair on top. Now this is one of the reasons that it floats so good, and it's super useful for lots of things.
Hold tight. Jade is screaming, sauce, sauce, sauce. SOS. SOS. Bruce Cameron thinks that a crossfield road trip is in order. I highly say yes. That was wrong. I highly agree. But what I have to do and say is what's it called? Westwood. The Westwood restaurant or whatever in Black Diamond. Bruce, go there. Saturdays, donut day, but get there early. They open at noon or pre-order. I think you had to pre-order today, so you missed it.
But next week.
Yeah, none of these baking things are quote unquote sponsored. It's just I like to eat that stuff.
Who doesn't?
But head down to Black Diamond and eat yourself out of a healthy lifestyle.
Yes.
So Sean said his daughter's asleep. Bring on the language, and don't worry, you're not boring. Is she telling us that or him?
I hope that's us.
She thinks you're cool because you're hanging out with us.
Yeah, totally.
Okay, Jade, let us know. We're gonna give you a countdown. See, Ken lives down in Turner Valley, I believe, so he's probably at Westwood all week long. They will ship to Texas, and they might show up like cardboard. But you know what's better than shipping to Texas is you coming up here, jumping in our boats, and we will feed you these fine specimens of baking goods.
Yeah, that is true.
Okay, Bruce has been to the Westwood, so now. Okay, beep, 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 beep.
You're on fire.
It's time to go, Tim.
Let's do it. Okay, guys, so all I've done now is I'm going to grab that deer hair, I'm going to pull it back up, and I'm going to drive some wedge wraps. So what's a wedge wrap, you ask? Well, I'm pulling this hair up, and I need to build my wing out of it. So I'm driving these thread wraps right up against that hair to prop it up. And I'll run a few thread wraps forward, and then I'll come back again and go up against the hair. Okay, wait, that's why we call them a wedge. Now when you can see the hair, it wants to stand up nice. Okay?
What's that?
Imagine that. I would have erred on the side of making your wing too long over too short, because if you get to this point and you realizing that maybe my wing only extends to about here, then we've probably gone too short, and I would rather err on the side of too long, because we all know mayfly wings stand up very tall and they're prominent, so it's okay. Going long is better than going short when it comes to these guys, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in here with my scissors, not open because I don't want to cut any of the hair, but I'm using my scissors to come in here and split this hair in half, okay? So what I'm doing is I just came in with my scissors down the middle. I split them in half, so I've got half on one side of my scissors, half on the other. And while I'm holding it like that, I'm going to take a thread wrap between the two. Okay, that's my first division in this wing. Okay, I'm going to do it again. And now, this is basically, I'm going to try to turn this to you. I think I can maybe get away with it. You see that? No, I think we came out of focus. That's okay. So, point being, if you look at the top, you can see how I splayed the wing. Okay, so we're going to treat this wing now as if it's dumbbellized. So I want you to do full figure eights around the wings. Now, they're leaning forward right now, but we will prop them back up with some more wedge wraps. But what's important is that we get some full figure eights to separate them. So that means going around the base, and instead of going back over the hook, coming all the way to the other side first and going around the base of the other fly and then locking it down to the hook. Okay, that's how we really get them to splay and be on their own, like so. Okay, and now I'm going to pull them back together again, and I'm going to drive a few more wedge wraps up against it, just prop it up. And I'll show you one of my cheating techniques here that I'm going to use to get them to stay where I want them to. So now that I've got them there, I want to keep doing a few cross wraps. I'm going to do a couple more figure eights because I really want these to not go anywhere. And now one important piece that we don't do on dumbbell eyes, but we're going to do on these, is let's see if I can tip this to you and show you. We want to go around each one of the wing posts separately, by itself. So I can come in here and grab the wing, and I'm going to go just around the wing itself. Do 3 or 4 wraps just around the wing. That gathers all that hair and pins it together. And, excuse me, once I've done that, what I need to do is I need to now go around the hook itself, because that's like a saving my work thing. Once I've got those together, I have to go around the hook itself to save what I've done. So I'm gonna do it on the other side. I'm gonna go just around the post of the wing itself. There we go. We'll do, again, 4 or 5 wraps, and then go around the hook to save my work.
Oh, Bruce cut the wing off trying to multitask.
Ooh, not good. So the reason, and I maybe it's just my personal preference on this fly, but I do like a little bit longer wing, because in my mind, I know what those mayfly wings look like. Mayfling.
I do have a mayfling.
Mayfling.
I think you need a shot of the baking can just
man.
to keep your
I'm still
sugar levels up.
Take a dip of that on my scissors.
How about you just take a drink, get that whistle wet, and when we come back to you, like right now, you
Ready
can
to go.
say mayfly. Say it 5 times. Mayfly.
Mayfly. It's good. It's all good. So what I want for those wings, I don't mind if they're tipped forward slightly, but I don't want them to be tipped forward so much that they're at like a 45, okay? And as far as how they're upright or not, I want them to splay out slightly, but again, not be laying out flat. So I can come in there, now that I've got all those wraps on it, I can come in and I can pinch with my fingers, kind of get them where I want them. And what I'm gonna do now, this is my cheat technique, and I've showed you this before, is I'm gonna come in here with some of my Solarez bone dry, very thin UV resin. And now all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come down right between the posts. I'm gonna put one little dab. Okay, I'm gonna let that soak into not only the post, but into the wraps around the post. And now once I cure this, those wings aren't going anywhere. So make sure that you don't cure it before you want to. And if you don't have the UV resin, that's fine. Don't worry about that, because it's not a necessary step. It's just one that I like to do to make sure that I don't lose any of my work. Okay, so I'll solid that up. Now guys, believe it or not, we're actually quite close to the end here. Okay, all I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna tie in my hackle and wrap the hackle forward. And this can be a bit of a, again, intimidating part of this process, because hackle is a little bit smaller, harder to work with at times. If you've got any hairs that have not cooperated in the process, this would be a good time to go ahead and get them out of there.
Is that a joke because I don't have hair?
You've got a lot of hair on your face.
That's a good point. It's a good point, Tim.
It's a good point.
It's a good point. How to recover.
You know. So in your kits, guys, you're gonna have one grizzly color hackle, and you're gonna have one red or brown-ish colored hackle. Okay, so the recipe calls for both. So we're gonna go ahead and I'm gonna strip off some of the butts.
You strip that butt.
Strip the butts.
Cue Cam, but
Cue
Cam,
Cam.
the funny part is he texted me and he said, I cannot see the comments. So I imagine Cam is not having a good night, being that
He's struggling.
he is not a top fan and he is not allowed to comment.
Oh man. Okay,
Maybe
so
he's been put in timeout.
maybe he is in timeout. How we're gonna tie this hackle in, guys, is and we've appropriately chosen the hackle as best as we could to fit your hook. But a really good way to check it out is if you come in here on a bare hook. Obviously it's tough now because I've got stuff on here, but you tip the hackle over and you can run it and make sure that it extends just barely beyond the hook point. And that's gonna tell you you've got a pretty good to close hackle. And on these style of flies, we don't mind erring on the side of a little bit larger either. But that's how I can check it. Yeah, and that's about perfect. Okay, so there's an underside to your hackle and a top side. The underside is dull in color, like you can see there, and the top side is a lot darker and shiny. So we want to tie this in. How I like to tie it anyways, is I like to come in between the posts. So I'll show you like this. I like to come in and lay it in between the posts, like so. And I'm gonna leave myself a little bit of space of bare stem to work with to start my first wrap, but I'm gonna go around like so, lock it in, and so it's locked on that side, and then I can also come through the middle of the post and grab that butt section again with a thread wrap, and I can secure, as you can see there, I can secure it down towards the front of the fly. You don't, you really don't.
You don't.
Okay, so I'll snip out that butt, and now I can run a few thread wraps back up to make sure that's good. And now I'm just gonna repeat the process with my grizzly. And which one you tie in first is really not that important. Don't worry about that too much. Okay. Like so. So do the same thing and prepare the other one. So I got a little bit of bare stem. Okay, and I'm gonna tie it in identically. I want the dull side to be facing the fly, the shiny side out, and I'm gonna come in here do a couple thread wraps, come through the post, take a couple thread wraps to secure that down, come back through, and I'll snip out that stem. Okay, and I'm gonna bring my thread right up to the eye of the hook. This would be a good time to save some work here, guys, so just do a quick half hitch.
Did you get some nail work done this week?
No, I didn't. I didn't chew as much, didn't watch any scary movies, but
Oh, like Superstore?
yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome.
You are welcome. How about one of my new favorite shows besides Yellowstone? On Amazon Prime, it's called Bull.
Bull. Yeah, I haven't watched it.
I'm excited for tonight because I got another episode to watch.
Nice. Have to check it out this week at work. Check it out. Okay, so let's work with our first hackle. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab that brown one. And what's important here, guys, is I want that dull underside to face the back, and that's why I kind of tied it in that orientation, okay? And now sometimes it can be a little tricky to do and to hold, so I'm gonna go in there and grab my hackle pliers, which I left here somewhere, as a safety. So if that hackle gets too short, I'm still gonna be able to use it. So I like to do 2 to 3 wraps behind the wing and 2 to 3 wraps in front of the wing. So always making sure that the orientation of that feather is pointed rearward. And sometimes you kind of got to work around that deer hair so you don't splay it with the feather at all. And once I've got one up close, and I can grab those wings and kind of pull them rearward, try to get a nice tight one right behind or right in front of them. And stack another one in front of it.
Could you tie them in at the same time?
You could, yeah. It just, there's definitely a little bit more room for error when you do it that way. You're working with twice the amount of hackle at once, and it doesn't always work out as planned. So I like to do them separately. There's no rush.
Oh, what just happened to your bobbin there? It looked like it auto-retracted.
It did.
That's
Isn't that
fancy on a Norvise.
Huh.
Auto bobbin. Norvise auto bobbin.
If only we had a sponsor.
We should definitely just make
Yeah.
a whole night of shameless plugs.
Should. So I like to unhook myself there. I'm going to come in and throw a half hitch again to save that, because if I mess up now and that hackle all goes wonky, I'm going to not be super impressed. So the end of my bodkin, and most bodkins have a little hole in them. So what I'm going to do is come 1, 2, slide that thread off of it. It helps if you got a cleaner bodkin than I do, just to save that work, okay? Then I'll go in and I'll trim out that. Be careful not to cut too many fibers out. I'm gonna trim out that little.
Oh yeah,
chunk.
Matthew York got the auto bobbin. It
Woo-wee.
is on the way.
Nice.
Baloo loves his auto bobbin. That is a fact.
It's hard to beat him, guys. Once you go to him, I gotta admit.
Rocky Mountain Fly Shop now carries Norvise, and you can get. Welcome back to another episode of Shameless
But
Plugs.
wait, there's more. So I've got that now, so I know I can set my bobbin across again.
The coolest part about the shirt or the hoodie that you just bought, it's literally eating this. Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
Now people can't unsee
You
it.
can't unsee that. Okay, so now guys, I'm just gonna grab that other hackle and I'm gonna repeat the same process. Okay, I'm gonna go 1 or 2 times. I'm probably only gonna do 2 behind for sure, maybe only 2 in front. But I'm gonna kind of move the hackle back and forth as I'm going in and through these other fibers so that I'm not trapping anything.
The shore bobbin, Jason agrees, is also for a non-auto bobbin. That shore bobbin is absolutely
It's the bomb, yeah, no doubt.
fantastic, and that's not just because they sponsored it. It's because it's true.
Yeah, there's not a shore tool that I've used that I don't like, and I'm pretty tool picky. Tool picky. So guys, once I've done my 2 to 3 wraps in front and behind, I'm gonna come and I'm gonna again do a securing wrap, and that is, as it sounds, to secure the material. I'm gonna do a wrap behind it, a wrap in front of it, and now this is where things get tricky because you don't wanna mess up anything. We're almost to the finish. Everything's looking good. So I wanna make sure I can get a quick half hitch on there, even if it's just 1, to make sure I've saved that work. And this is why I like it on dry flies, guys, because I can push that material back out of the way of that eye and let that slide down. Okay, so now I've still got a clear eye. I haven't infringed on it at all.
Impeded on it, but you can't. You gotta understand, you couldn't do that with your fingers because all of the hangnails. Just
That's a
not
fact.
not just you, but
It's like
it's that's slick.
that's slick. So I'll come in again, just trim out the butt section of that. Okay, and now I've done a double half hitch at the end here, so I know that that's secure. I am going to touch it with some Sally Hansen's here momentarily, but I can get my thread out of the way, like so. And now I'm just going to come in here.
We're trying to take it easy on the beer consumption tonight because we got ourselves a little bit of a float trip tomorrow. And, well, the real Jen Lyles never rode a drift boat before. It's up to me and you, Tim.
It is.
And
that's
so
okay.
Hopefully she's behaving.
I hope so. Finally getting to come good on that date she's owed me for quite a while.
Oh, well, she said to me, she texted me and said, if I don't see Tim topless tonight, I might not go tomorrow.
Well, it looks like he's not coming.
You just put on more shirts.
I did. I gotta get one off. It's hot.
Will the brown trout eat
That's
it?
That's crazy. I like that.
You know, Mike
so guys,
said, I never even saw that until I mentioned it. And, well,
now you can't unsee it.
I didn't see it until Mike Hawkins mentioned it. And now I can't unsee it.
Isn't that the truth? There it is, guys. Yellow Humpy. Change whatever you want as far as colors are concerned. The pattern doesn't change other than color. And I promise you that you will love having a handful of those in a couple sizes. I don't see any point in tying these small. They're meant to be a big fly so that it's kind of a searching pattern and it can be used for a dropper.
Fished in the riffles, fished in.
It's like a wolf pattern, right? You're using that deer hair to tie a wing. So
yeah, it's it is a good stimulator. Fly. And the question was who came up with the Humpy? I don't totally know, but I do know that Tom Thumb had something to do with it, or there's controversy between a couple people that claim to have this fly as theirs, but so I don't know for sure. Oh, you're taking your shirt off?
I gotta get one out of the way.
Ooh, okay, folks. Well, you know what this means. It is a quick hop over to the bacon cam. And just as much as Tim's brown trout would eat the fly that's on his vise, I bet you would eat these cupcakes and muffins, donuts, whatever you want to call it. It's just sugar and icing. So in the bottom of the screen is a maple bacon donut, which I'm sure is going to go down the hatch real quick. And then there's a couple cupcakes from our friends at the Cocadroo Bake Shop in Olds, Alberta. And, well, Tim, what do you think of that? Again, I turned your mic off because you were restless. So
no more.
This is what we're going to do, folks. Now that we've tied one of the flies, we have one more fly. Do you want to put the next fly in the vise and we can show everybody about the purple beetle Beetle and Trout Maharishi shared on Facebook this week a song about the purple people eater. And I'd never heard it before, and I don't want to ever hear it again. No, I'm just kidding. It was kind of funny and ironic. Yes, it needs more bacon. I didn't mean to leave it on the bacon cam for so long. If you're just joining us, this is Thursday Night Live. I'm Dana, and that is Tim, and we're tying a couple flies, the dry flies tonight. Kind of stimulator-ish patterns, but not the stimulator, just searching patterns. So we like these two flies in our mountain streams. They are very effective, and so we like them. So is that a coffee?
Yeah.
How's that?
It's my once a week Dana special.
Yeah, that's right, folks. A flat white from the house of Dana's coffee machine. So what we're gonna do now? Yes, Marvin. I think we're talking about the purple people eater. So what we're gonna do, folks, is get out your bingo cards because we're gonna call some bingos. Yeah. What I need to do is also get out the bingo caller, the bingo machine, and I forgot my other 5 arms. Hit the bingo scene. Yeah, that's what's up. That is what's up.
What's up?
So Mark's had a bad night, and he apparently is all thumbs. So what I need to do is get this thing fired up, and you guys are getting out your bingo cards. So printed or not, you can also just go straight. Yes, David Blackman, you are just in time for the bingo.
Oh yeah, bingo time.
This is not the Shure SM7B, but it sure is sounding good, right, David? Tell me. Okay, so I'm just getting this screen loaded up so that we can call the bingo. What we're going to do is we're going to call out 6 calls. If we don't have a winner, we're going to go to our halftime show, which is a film that we have for you guys. And a lot of the people in here tonight watching and tying are going to be in that film. Yes, it is of Guide School, and it is also one of my favorite films of the Guide School. And so we're going to call 6 bingo cards right now. And I just have to go over here, make sure, where am I? I'm so confused, folks. So, something like this. Something like that. I can't find out where my screens are at. Everybody's wondering what's happening. Do you guys have your bingo cards out?
You better.
This one. I think that. Oh, there it is. That's the one. That's the screen I needed. And then I need to go into this, and I need to say this one here. My phone's dying. Call the game, and let's show this. Maybe you guys won't get to see this called.
Struggle Fest.
Right there. Come on, show up. Show up.
Ken said, crowded the head real good. Just finish behind the wings.
Okay.
That's great.
So, because this one is being a poo-poo head, that's me, folks. But what we need to do is get this one here off the screen, do the magic behind the screen, switch over to this camera,
You got this.
turn on this one.
There it is.
There we go. And it's gone again. It's because my phone shut off.
Nice.
And it's still gone. So we're gonna do this. We're gonna.
Struggle's
I
real
want
out
you
here.
guys to see
See the
where
call.
this is at. So. Bum, bum,
Man, I'm glad
bum,
I'm
bum,
not in
bum.
your seat.
I'm also glad you're not in my seat because you
This
would
would be much
on,
worse.
You would be on my lap. Okay, there's only 13 bingo cards left, so if you haven't got your bingo card,
This is definitely your chance.
yeah, this is your chance to get it. Well, supplies still are there. That's this, that's that, that's not wanting to show us anything, but this is a disaster. Okay, you're gonna have to trust me that I know what I'm doing.
Yeah, so David, for this giveaway, you do need a bingo card to win. We will likely do a second giveaway later that won't have to do with the bingo card, but for this one, you're gonna need a bingo card.
Well, David, you're always a winner, so that is the fact. And the old NDI is not showing, so what we're gonna do, folks, is just call these cards, and the first one is the X Caddis. The X Caddis. I really wish that this would show up, but it's not. So when it doesn't want to show up, we just don't worry about it. We say the X Caddis is the call. The next call is Higa's SOS. Higa's SOS. Maybe I can do this. X Caddis. Okay, we'll stick that over there. It's not as graceful as I would want, but
You're doing pretty good.
SOS. How's that, folks? Look at
How about
this.
that?
Look at this guy. Next call is the Woolly Bugger.
Woolly bugger.
The Woolly Bugger. Folks, is anybody getting close? I want somebody to win on... There can be ties, and there is a tiebreaker, so... There's the Woolly Bugger, folks. The next call is the BWO Emerger.
The bow
Emerger. Hold tight. I'm working on it. Things are falling apart. I need another beer, and that is a fact. Okay, the BWO Emerger. Just so when we do come back, I'm going to shrink this one a little bit, and this one's a little smaller. Tim, monitor the comments. Has anybody
trying.
won? Is anybody winning? Look at all this
Everybody's
magic.
still-
We're just sliding all these things around here. You guys don't even know how this is happening.
Yes, we are looking for 4 corners, guys.
Four corners, sorry. Cannot retrieve the old cards. If it is in your email, you just have to go back to the same link. It is probably in your junk mail.
1 for 2, not
4
bad.
corners again. We're looking for 4 corners. The
Yeah.
X Caddis, the Higa's SOS, the Woolly Bugger, the BWO Emerger. And the next call Hold tight.
What is the prize? That is a good question.
Yes, you just don't worry, because I have a whole
Bunch of stuff.
whack of shore accessories. A shore toolkit, a shore sticker, a shore scissors, a Thursday Night Live keychain. Yeah, this one is the Shore Fantastic.
It sure is.
And this, the Thursday Night Live sticker. Okay, this is all going in this giveaway here. So the next call is the Sparkle Pupae.
Hey.
Anybody winning it with the Smarkle, the Smarkle. It's better when we have 29 beer. Tim, I'm gonna drink another beer.
Greg, what does 4 for 4 mean? Does that mean you've won?
Greg, Miss Streaks, what's up, friend? How are ya? She is finally in the house. Yeah, so Jade says she's never thought she'd be so excited for bingo. I had a phone call with a gentleman today who asked if we could do 5 straight days of bingo. Just not ever go anything but live. Greg Barella, talk to us. Ex-Catus Higas, 5 for 5. Well, yes, but we need 4 corners. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to call one more here. And this one is the Prince.
P9 Ink.
Prince. I just realized there was an eject button on my keyboard, and I don't know when the last time. Let's see if we could slide it in there, folks, and move this over. Okay, we got 6. We said we would call 6. Is anybody close? You're gonna win a lot of shore accessories, the toolkit, the scissors, the stickers. Ben Armstrong needs lube. Okay. Okay, hold your cards tight. This is the chance for you to grab a drink, because we're gonna play Tim Sleeping, Tim Wake Up.
I need a beer.
We're gonna play our halftime show here, and then what we're gonna do is we're gonna come back and we're gonna keep calling out the bingos. And the more numbers we call, the people, if you don't win, I'm gonna keep adding prizes to this bunch, because it's just gonna be that much more. Ted has 1 corner. Yes, Gunner Cove. The guy wins,
He wins everything.
And he just got his shirt in the mail, and his nephew, I believe. Okay, folks. This is the halftime show. This is the film that we want to show you for all the people who are here tying along with us, making cameos. Enjoy. We'll be back in a couple minutes.
Is this thing on, I'm assuming? Oh, yeah, it is. I'm Jason Baglian, and I'm from Keep Hills, Alberta. Chose to take guide school to, one, better myself as a fly fisherman, and to learn the ins and outs, hopefully, or give me some direction in what I want to do for possibly a guiding career. So.
Hi, I'm Wayne Klassen, originally from Ontario. I just want to be able to properly teach other people how to do this, how to ethically do it, the proper way to do stuff.
My name is Theo Van Zyl. To further my fly fishing experience and education, and potentially get into the business.
Doug Cook, Langley, BC. I'm looking at a second career after I retire. I want to do something I love and I'm passionate about, and taking the guide school because I want to just test the water, see if this is something I do want to do before jumping in with a financial investment of a boat and whatnot. I also, if I decide to go forward with it, I want a good base of knowledge to start to learn and grow from.
It's best to sort of decide if you're going to get into a boat, where you're going to be using it mostly.
Wow, it's not even a joke.
Can you powder me up? Powder me up. Name's Cody Tuck. I'm from currently Cochrane, Alberta, born and raised in Calgary. Our goal was with guide school was to spend a good amount of time in and around a well-rounded community of guides, hopefully gathering some of their invaluable information throughout the course. Spend more time rowing boats, something I've never experienced before investing into one.
I'm Cody Frankie. I'm with Rocky Mountain Fly Shop from Olds, Alberta, born and raised. I absolutely love fly fishing. I'm addicted, as many of us are. And I just come here to learn as much as I can from you guys, being experienced Bow River fisherman. I primarily fish the Red, so I'm interested in learning about other rivers around here. Plus, you guys just have tons of knowledge that I can just hope to learn. So really excited to come learn that.
My name is Jordan Pogenpole. I chose to take guide school because I've been fly fishing for a long time and it's my passion in life, and it's all been self-taught, and I just found, you know, with a family now, I just found a new reason to broaden my horizons and take it to the next level, whatever that means, and just learn as much as I can.
Here's how I put my streamers.
Hey, my name's Cheyenne Ryder-Smith and I am from the Lacombe-Panoka area. I chose to take guide school because I've fallen in love with fly fishing and I want to indulge, invest, and become a guide, potentially on the Bow River, but somewhere in Alberta. There's going to be so many things, but probably being able to take knowledge away from every angler who's in our group would be the most beneficial, I think.
The other thing I encourage you to do, as an integrity standpoint, is you might work for a shop or a random outfitter, and you might work for 4 or 5.
So just so you know, if the gills of a fish dry out, and it takes sometimes as little as 30 seconds, that portion of the cellular structure dies. So the first thing you should do is go whatever it takes to remember what time it is.
You're intuitive now. Okay, it's the things we're teaching you.
A lot of aha moments.
But I think in general, just oaring the drift boat, because I've never touched one before this, right, at all. So you guys definitely helped me there. Now I feel not nervous. As soon as I used to sit in the seat at Collins, I was like freaked out. Yeah, totally. I just had no idea because it's a different world than my kayaks, my john boat, my canoes, right? So
A lot more intellectual, physical rowing. But yeah, it was a lot more mind growth than I anticipated, right?
It would be the way you carry yourself as that. So it doesn't matter what comes up, like how you carry yourself on the river, in your boat, like hold your line. Are you gonna work hard or are you gonna work lazy? Are you gonna be there? Are you gonna be on time? Are you gonna really take everything professional? Like,
from no experience in it, I had no idea how much you guys do. There's such a perception. You watch it on TV. Yeah, the guys. Yeah. Oh, he's out enough. Oh, there. Here, I'll net this one. You net that one. Let's go for lunch.
Yeah. Your guys' persona about, it doesn't matter about the size of the fish, the Instagram post. I'm not the best fly fisherman. I've been fly fishing for a while, and I just have been knocking on this door, trying to get into the community and not really knowing which way to go. And I had a gut feeling, and it was kind of aligned with how you guys think. And after that morning session there, that was it. I was like, okay, like this is how this is right. My gut feeling was right, and I found some people that are fucking off the hook. Yeah.
Like, this is why I wanted to be here. I told you this on your boat, because of your culture, because of the people that you are, and the willingness to love people. Like, that's what I've always been about, and like, you guys have that. That's what makes you different. Anybody can go fishing, anybody can learn how to fish and be better at fishing, but the culture that you developed, like, this is what makes it so impactful and like so crazy. Singing with you on the way, like all the, like everything. Yeah, it's just like, yeah, I don't know. It's so powerful that it like hits you in the chest and you're like, God, like how can you be anything other than grateful and like literally a feeling of bliss and like, yeah, I don't know. Whoever you believe in is working.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, got you. And you're like, okay.
All right.
I hope you guys enjoyed that.
Always gets me.
I know.
Hits me right in the feels, especially Shay at the end.
Man.
Like,
I think all of us at the table were the same.
Such a fun week.
Soulful person.
We ran 2 of those last year in the spring and in the fall. And all 16 students in both classes. Absolutely. It's so fun. It's so fun to watch people come into the class and nervous. And they drop their ego at the door and they come out of that class a changed person, man or woman. And they're confident on the oars. They're confident in the water. And it's just really, really cool. I don't know if anyone in here is a teacher or an instructor, but watching students change throughout the course of a week like that is
special, man. Very special.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So questions from the comments. Mike Hawkins, did you actually win a bingo? Because you said that as soon as the show started. Tim, which thread should everybody start putting in?
Yeah.
And then we'll get back to the bingo, find the winner, and
go from there.
Yeah.
So our next fly, guys, for the purple beetle, we're going to be using you want something with a little bit more hefty thread strength. So I suggest a 140 or a 3/0. I'm just going to go with black. Black or purple would be totally fine, but black is more than sufficient.
Perfect. James Riley. Mr. Riley, what's up, brother? How are you? Welcome. Doug Cook, no, not all the classes are that good looking, especially because you were in that class. And you brought the average good looks way above 10 out of 100.
Yes, definitely.
Okay, question was, do you offer a boat rowing safety course? If you don't want to be a guide, all the course itself looks amazing. So we do. We've taken people out, taught them how to row a boat. The thing you have to understand about guide school is, yes, it's heavy on the guiding aspect of things. But the whole week, the 6 days, a lot of people that actually take guide school have no inclination of wanting to guide. They just want to be better on the water, safer on the water, proficient in a drift boat, proficient teaching people to cast, understanding the safety of like you could see Scott, one of our guides, was in the river there, and we were throwing him a safety bag, a rope, safety rope bag, throw bag, the throw bag and the safety rope bag and the deer stacker. So you don't have to want a guide to take the course. It is heavy on the industry at the start of the course, but once we hit the water, we spent a lot of time teaching. And yeah, so there's lots of guys, people, girls in here that have taken the course. If you have questions, reach out to us, because if nothing else, it is like a super fantastic 6 days. It feels like you're on vacation. I remember that comment from last year.
Yeah.
Jordan said that. He's like, I don't feel like I'm doing anything but on vacation. And as the class bonds, this course completely goes to a whole new level.
Yeah. But that's the thing, guys, is it's not, like Dana said, not only do you not want to be a guide necessarily, but if you purchased a boat and you feel like you also don't want to be the only one rowing your boat, you can, by learning through us, you can learn to teach others so you're not the only one rowing your boat down the river. Yeah, you don't have to want a guide to do this at all.
Yeah.
I wish it was, I know, because I took the very first guide school.
Yes, you did.
I know the impact it had on my career and the leaps and bounds it gave me. Mostly just in confidence on the oars, which is a huge piece of what we do. Obviously, we row without even thinking about it anymore, but yeah.
Yeah, like it's just, I know it's guide school, and I wish we could have a non-guide school, same thing. It is guide school, like it is, we do teach a lot about guiding and the industry and stuff, so that is there for sure. The dates are you have to look on the website, but we do 2 of them. We do one in the fall. It's like September, 3rd week of September. That one is 6 straight days. That one is more designed around the traveling people so that you can come in for 6 days. The first one is in the spring. Kind of the way we've set it up is Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then the next weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So if people have to take time off work, then they only are really taking a Friday off. Yes, hide drift boats. We love them. Absolutely. But here's the thing. Reach out to us. Ask us about guide school because we're going to get back to tying flies. We're bingo first. But yeah, I hesitated on showing the video of guide school because I don't want that whole like, oh, we're just using this to try to promote stuff. But like, I truly fully believe in what guide school does. And it's not to oversaturate the market at all. It's just, it's a lot of fun. And I think people come out of there as better humans, better people on the river. They're respectful to other people on the river. And we need more of that, especially in Calgary area.
Hugely.
So yeah, we can talk more. Anybody who's interested, reach out. We will chat. Ben, yes, we would love to have you there. If nothing else, it just gives you a leg up on understanding what kind of takes place in the industry. We do take Americans. As soon as this border opens, we will get you guys up here. And that's why we did 2 last year, is because we did have a lot of interest from American people and then COVID stuff. And
COVID stuff.
So there's that. Chaz is in 100% you are, brother. He's in the spring. Yeah, and so that's just kind of a video we roughly threw together at the end of guide school.
Roughly, come on. Give yourself some credit.
Well, yeah, polishedly.
Polished.
Okay, bingo time. Back to bingo. Mike Hawkins did not claim his bingo. And going once, see, guide school is like hiring a fishing guide. You're cutting the learning curve in half.
Yeah, totally.
I would say I didn't have guide school, and I had to make all the mistakes for probably 3 years before I started to figure it out. I probably pissed off a lot of people on the river, and I'm just out there, got a boat, I want to be a guide. So, yeah, do you speak hillbilly where I need a translator? Oh, we can speak trust me. We're pretty polished on the show here, Trout. Mark, yes, and so Mark, Tim, that's whose package you got. He's got your giveaway from last week, so
yes, Mark, we'll connect and
reach
I'll
out
get
to
that
him and we'll get that up there. Just no sense of shipping the Red Deer since Tim drives there all the time. Yes, Roman, you took one last year. We would love to have you here, Mr. Montana.
When you leaving?
Yes, you got a good wife for us.
That's a good wife.
Okay, bingo. Back to the calling of the game. We're looking for 4 corners, and we want to give away. I'm going to add some. This isn't enough stuff. You know what?
Enough? Never
this
enough.
isn't enough stuff. Tim, grab me. You know what? Where's the box of Drift Out West Fly Vision?
Oh, behind you. Yeah, that's right behind you. Some good stuff in here. We don't even know what's in there.
We don't even know, but I'm going to need.
Scissors?
No.
Toss those to
those
you.
are too good. I need.
Oh, and dull ones?
I need the.
Oh, these ones.
Yeah.
Your scissors. There you go.
Oh, yeah, they're sharp. Okay, folks, because I'm going to add something from.
Maybe somebody needs to go to the gym.
Tim?
Yes.
The gyms are closed.
Not
Okay.
anymore.
Well, what I need is high intensity, and that was not. I
Yes,
would have
you
been
can-
banned from the gym for breathing heavy.
That's true. Oh, man, look at that.
Oh, yeah. This is the one. This is what we're adding to the pile.
All right.
All right. People know we're not 30 feet away. Okay, we're 6. We're just 6. That's all you gotta be. Okay, from our friends at Drift Out West Fly Fishing.
That's a pretty awesome looking sweater you got there. Look at that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That looks like it would fit well.
Yeah, and it's super
Okay.
comfy. Okay, I just added that to the pot. So the pot's bigger. And the next call is after the prints. The next call is Stimulator.
Stimulator.
Also trust this man per see, Jade even knows it's a raw string. Okay, so this was the Stimulator in the Stimulator. Anyone?
Anybody?
Okay, Tim, you watch comments. I'm just
watching
gonna
them.
keep calling the Pavs Hopper.
Pavs. Pavs.
Adding this, the Pavs hopper. We're looking for 4 corners.
Autocorrect. You know what
Pass.
he means, folks. You know what
That's
he means.
the Pavs hopper. I can fix that because I know this technology.
Just scroll in those comments for me.
Pavs hopper. Okay. Pure raw strength. 1 in for 7. What's the
Nothing
matter
yet.
with my phone? We don't know. It's
looking for lube.
booked into the gym. Okay.
Nice.
So looks like everybody quit playing. Our next call is the Hippie Stomper.
Hippie Stomper.
That was a fun fly.
That was a good one.
Hippie Stomper.
Who's got it, folks? Somebody's got to win
Who's
here.
gonna win?
That's a lot of calls right there.
Yep. It's got to come in. I bet you 4 corners. Can't come and read at the same. Can't come T and read. Lost ability to comment on the PC.
Man.
Cam, it's not going well
Not
for
a good
you.
night for Cam.
Okay, the next call is the Brassy. Brassie. The Brassy. Put it over here.
Come on, folks.
Come
Somebody's
on,
gotta
folks.
get
We
this.
need 4 corners.
Ben needs WD-40.
WD-40. And I'll make sure I do
Mark's
not
got
say
his
it if it
first
shows
word.
up. It's the hare's ear. Hare's ear. The hare's ear.
Come on
is
now.
up here. And the next call is the Rusty Spinner.
Why don't you call a corner one?
Rusty Spinner. Jim Crawford, are you winning since you finally got a bingo card? Rusty Spinner, folks. We're looking for the Rusty Spinner.
Nothing yet.
Nothing yet with the Rusty Spinner. Okay, so the next call is the Red Worm. This has to win somebody.
Come on, if this doesn't win.
Red Worm. Also made famous from such films as Red Rum.
Nothing yet. Come on, folks. Somebody's got to win this thing. We're going to
Come
run out
on.
of calls.
1 for 11. Jim James William Crawford is close. Close to what? Going to bed or getting yourself?
Your thread spooled in your bobbin.
Yes, that is the fact. He's literally close to getting his thread. The Avalon Crab.
Ben just
I
wants that
think my
WD-40.
card would have won by now, but I cannot retrieve it. I think I'll have the whole card
I
except
think a
the
lot
corners.
of people are really close
I
right
know.
now. 3 for 4.
I
and
know,
3
the
for 4.
Kung Fu Crab. The Kung Fu Crab. The Kung Fu Crab. I feel like we already called that, but we didn't. Kung Fu King.
Kung Fu.
Wait, who
Kung Fu
who
Crab.
ordered the autocorrect in this environment? The Kung Fu
Somebody
Crab,
got
folks.
it. Marvin Jackson. Bingo.
Okay, wait. Where is he? Marvin Jackson.
All right,
Marvin
bud.
Jackson, bingo. Please tell me the number on the top of your card, Mr. Marvin Jackson, so I can verify in the system here that you are the winner of all the shore products, plus the awesome hoodie from our friends at Drift Out West Fly Fishing. Sounds like he needs a commercial by us.
Yes.
Quinn, give me a call. I'll give you a price. Okay, Marvin won. I don't know where your comment won, but it was on there. Marvin called bingo. Marvin. Tell me.
What the
Oh,
number is.
087.
087. Let's check it out.
087. That's fact. That's a fact. He had the 4 corners.
Nice.
That is fantastic, and he won it on the Avalon Crab.
Oh, nice.
The Avalon Crab, we called 1 extra, so let's delete this just in case anybody gets confused. And there we go. We got the winner. And
Congrats,
because what I talked about last time, folks, was one of our Jordan won the shirt last week, and he said it's not fair that one of the guides wins the shirt. So he gave the shirt back.
Nice.
He never actually got it, but he said, don't give it to me. Give it away next week. So that's going to be the next giveaway,
Nice.
and we all know how that's going to be given away. And it doesn't start now.
It's the leave your numbers alone.
It starts when the fly is
Dude.
tied.
Let's
Okay.
get through one more fly first.
Let's get this fly going, folks.
All right.
And if you're still hungry, that
You
is
better start
the
delivering some bakery
look
over
at
here.
that. Maple bacon
I want
donut.
that chocolate one.
What is it? You picked them
Well,
up.
that one was just called peanut butter.
Oh, okay.
And then the one behind it was called chocolate.
Oh,
So
simple.
Simple. Why complicate
Simple.
things?
Why do I think that donut's got my name all over it?
Yeah,
but
you can eat it. I want that
until
chocolate.
then, Tim,
All right, guys.
tie some
We are
flies.
on to the purple beetle. Okay, now this pattern, again, may not look exactly like a beetle. That's what we're calling it. But it's a great, again, searching pattern for our eastern slopes of the Rockies. I'm sure will work on just about any waterway that's got trout in it, because we all know they love purple. So this is a fairly simple pattern. It only gets complicated up at the head because we've got lots of legs to tie in. We're going to show you a technique on almost like hopper legs, how we're going to tie some legs together to make the thigh thicker than the lower half of the leg.
The thigh.
Thighs like a truck.
See, it's getting hot in here now.
Oh, yeah, it is hot in here. It's really warm.
Yeah.
Whew. Anyways, let's get this rolling. So if you go ahead and get into your kit of goodies, we are going to start this process. So the materials to start off, so those of you need to go grab some. We're going to be using just a piece of 2 mil, actually 1 mil, sorry, black foam. And we're going to use a little bit of Antron yarn for a wing. We've got some rainbow crystal flash, which we're going to use as an underwing. And then we have also some black, all black rubber legs. We're going to be tying this on a size 10 dry fly hook. And we are also going to be using some purple dubbing slash what we gave you guys is like a minnow back material. We're not trying to do anything pretty when we spin this on. We're just trying to create a nice purple underbody. So that is what we're going to be using for materials. Again, the thread I'm going to be using is just a UTC 140 in black, just because it matches the color of the foam. And we want something with a little bit more tension strength, because the smaller the thread, it can cut through the foam if we're putting on lots of tension, and we obviously would not like that, being that we're going to mess up the fly.
Marvin, send us an email, info@flyvisionbowriver.com, so I can get your mailing address and get this out to you.
Yes, let's do that so we can get that off to you. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get my hook in my vise. Get that good and secured. Always like to check it, make sure it's not going to go anywhere, because there's nothing more frustrating.
That's a Sven Diesel thing.
Yeah. What's that little, you remember that little musical instrument somebody would put in their mouth? And they'd do this?
Oh, yeah. It was a skin flute.
Skin flute. Okay, that's not...
I'm joking. That's a...
No, wait, so what's it called? It's like a thumb banjo or something.
Damn, that's a very bad name for something else.
And it clicks, and I realize how silly I sound. All right,
kazoo. Ryan says a kazoo.
No, it's not a kazoo.
No.
It's called like a something banjo, a finger banjo.
You can't even... We gotta stop the show. You know what? We can't even hold till. I can't even...
I don't know what...
With the amount of time we spend in front of our vices, don't you think you deserve a pair of scissors that can make the cut?
There are a lot of great rotary vices on the market, but only the Norvise spins the hook. It's for this reason that it's been said the Norvise is the most innovative fly tying system on the market.
We all deserve the right to stay organized, no matter what or where your space is. Your FlyKia table will turn any space into a well-organized fly tying realm. Own your domain.
All right. Okay, we needed a break because that got right out of hand, and we figured it out thanks to a few of you guys. It is not the meat whistle. It is,
or the mouth banjo.
It is the, what was it called?
It's the Jew's harp.
The Jews? No, I thought it was a different
name. Jew's harp.
Juice harp, or the Jew's harp.
Nope, it's the Jew's harp.
The Jew's harp.
I'm not saying it sounds appropriate, but that, if you can see what that looks like, let's see if I can get that to focus. That's what it was. It looks like a little banjo, but you put it in your mouth, in your teeth, and you quang, 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 quang. Just saying.
All right.
Anyways,
okay,
let's get back
stay tight. We did have to break there because that was...
going offside slightly.
It was a Jews.
So let's start our thread right behind the eye here, guys. We'll get that secured. Trim out that tag. And now let's just put a nice thread base all the way down into the bend. Just make sure you got a nice thread base on the whole hook. Okay, and we'll leave that somewhere around the barb in the back end. Now what we're gonna do, guys, first material we put into this guy is gonna be, we got you this purple dubbing material. All we're gonna do is we're gonna we're gonna make a little dubbing noodle on our thread. So what I like to do is I've actually cut it once, just so it makes those fibers a little smaller, a little easier to work with. And I just pull it apart a little bit. And now I'm just gonna start by making a nice dubbing noodle. So as we've talked about these before, you're gonna come in, you're gonna spin with your fingers in the same direction, not going back and forth, but in one consistent direction. We don't need to spin this super tight because we want this to look kind of buggy, but more or less we're gonna create a little bit of a bulky underbody just out of this purple flash metal material. And we will put a little bit more on at the head as well once we get up there. But I like to make one that's about 2.5 inches long. I'm gonna start putting it up the fly, and then if I need additional, then I will put some more. We're gonna leave about a quarter of the hook bare, and that's where all the work happens, is up at the front of the fly. Okay, so I'm gonna come in here, making sure I get that first wrap right down by the bend. And like I said, we like a nice bulky underbody. That's why I haven't really spun that noodle super tight, because we want it to show a little bit of bulk as we move forward. Okay, and that worked out pretty perfect. I want to finish with about a quarter of the hook to go.
Hook size 12?
This is a size 10.
10?
Or like a size 12, 3x long would be pretty much the same. If you've got any fibers that are just real wonky, just go ahead and trim them out. We don't want super long fibers. Just make sure they're not sticking out everywhere. We will have some foam on top that's going to kind of correct some of that too. Okay, so the first thing we're going to go ahead and put in here is our foam. So we're going to tie the back onto this fly. How we measure that, we want to come in here and measure our foam so it's a hook gap. So hook gap being from the point of the hook to the shank of the hook itself. We want that to be the width of our foam. So if it's a little long, that's a little bit wide, but understanding that I have material on there already. So it's about right. If it's a little oversized, it's not the end of the world. But what I need to do is, this is squared off currently. As you can see there, I want to round those corners. So I'm just going to come in here with my scissors, and I'm going to cut a nice rounded shape on the end. Just like so. Nothing too crazy. Just making it round like that. Okay. And now I want this foam body to extend to the back bend of the hook. So I'm going to lay that down on top. Make sure I get that measurement correct, so it's just barely hanging off the back or so. And now I'm going to come, and this is why we wanted that little bit bigger thread. So I'm going to take one wrap first while I have my finger holding down on the hook. Take a second one, start to pull down a little bit, and the third one, I'm going to let that hang. I'm going to readjust my fingers, and I'm going to pinch down on that foam as I pull down with my thread just to tighten it. And you can see how that tightened down nicely on there, and it's sitting right on top of all that purple dubbing. So I'll take a couple more wraps just to make sure that's good and secure in there. Now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to advance my thread, okay, till I'm going to leave a little bit of room behind the eye. Not much, about an eye length. I'm going to lay this back down, and I'm going to put another thread wrap up here. So you're going to be left with something looking something like that, and I'm going to pinch down like I did with the last one and pull it tight. And now that space between the two, I'm going to even out. Okay, I'm going to shrink all that foam down with some thread wraps. So we're going to be left with something that looks like this. Okay, and that's kind of where the eye of the hook is up there. Okay, so this is where we're going to get busy with the wing, and then we're going to get real busy with all the legs at the end. So you've got lots of this rainbow crystal flash in there. What I want you to do is go in and grab 4 fibers, or 4 lengths of it, okay? And try to keep the tips roughly aligned. But just go ahead and grab 4 of them. They should be roughly the same length. Just gonna grab a few more. Go grab 1 more. And now all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take these 4, drop one, of course. We don't want too much flash on the underside of this fly, but we do want some. And if they're not even on the other side, I would just trim them to match. And now all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come in here, wrap this around my thread. As I've showed you this before. I can bring it down right on top.
Yeah, Trevor said he's been going down to a 16 for the Beetles.
Yep. Beetles can go real
Think
small.
of this as a stimulating beetle.
Yeah.
Right? It's good for riffly water. A lot of beetles that we fish are 16 14.
16, 18 even.
And really hard for clients to see.
Yeah.
Sometimes we'll tie this with one of those smaller beetles as 14 inches off of it, and this is their cider.
Mm-hmm. And it's good because it certainly doesn't mean this one's not going to get eaten either. And another great thing to do would be to use this guy as your cider and have a smaller beetle behind it. But yeah, more of a searching pattern for sure. But beetles can go small. You were right about that. So I advanced my thread back against the foam. Now I'm going to leave that full length for now because I'm going to add another piece here of this Antron material that we have. This is going to be the top part of the wing. Now you might be thinking that beetles don't have much for wings, but hey, again, this is a bit of our cider color that we're going to hopefully be able to help yourself or your client or whoever see this a little better.
Benoit said it's better when the clients don't see the fly, they don't set too early.
That's actually true.
Yes.
Just call the set. So that if I were to grab one full thickness that we provided you guys, that's a little bit too much because we're going to double it over. So I'm just taking a little bit out, probably a quarter of that amount out. And then I'm going to do the same thing I did with the crystal flash. I'm going to fold it around my thread. I'm going to bring it down on top of the hook. And then I'm going to put some thread wraps back over top of it.
Yeah, you could get like fluorescent Antron, orange.
Yep, whatever color.
Remember the glow in the dark stuff we found at the
Chernobyl Afterglow? Yeah, that stuff is awesome. It's a little bit pricier, but it actually glows in the dark. So if you're fishing on dusk at night or in the morning, it's
just zap it.
Yeah, you just zap with a light.
Yeah, you could do lots of stuff to this. Do you guys fish cicada patterns? We don't have them, but this is not a bad pattern for that.
No.
Maybe a little bigger, but
yeah, another good style of fly. Yeah. So what I'm going to do here, guys, is to get this stuff out of my way, is I'm going to come here and trim this wing in the flash. So I want to cut just behind the back of the body, just barely, because once you cut it, it springs up a bit and sucks kind of back towards the fly. And now all this stuff is going to be laid back again once I fold the foam back over in the front. So it may look like it's kind of going everywhere, but bear with us, it will correct itself. So now I want you to go ahead and grab one of those rubber legs that you have, and we're just using a size medium. They're not barred, they're just plain old black rubber legs. Okay, now I'm going to double this over because we're going to tie in these back legs. As you see in the fly that we provided for you, it's got this is where the thighs like a truck comes in.
Dump like a what?
Something like that.
I don't remember. How's your coffee?
It's almost gone. If you want to go make me another one.
I'm on Tim, I'm live right now.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
I'm doing a show. Maybe you can drop that and go grab yourself a coffee.
Yeah, maybe. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to have both of these together. I'm pinching them, and now I'm just going to tie a knot in them, okay? One single overhand knot, like so. I'm going to pull the tag ends through, and I'm going to tighten them real tight, okay? So it just looks like that, okay? Now you see they kind of naturally have a direction, and how we want that to tie in on the fly is it so that leg is going to extend rearward almost like a hopper's leg would. And then we're going to end up trimming out one of the two tags at the bottom, but we're going to leave them for now. We'll do that at the end. But what's really important is to cinch that knot down, because if that knot comes loose and you've cut that leg, probably one of the legs is going to come out. Okay, so I'm going to, while I'm here and I've got this, I'm going to go ahead and tie this in. Now I want that knee joint to almost extend all the way to the back of the fly, but not quite. And the goal is to try to keep it in that orientation, but it is tough to do because this is just rubber legs. They like to move around on us, but that sat quite nicely, as you can see there. So that's kind of the desired goal here. Now once I got that tied in and I know it's not going anywhere and I've advanced my thread a little bit, I'm gonna go ahead and cut those two legs out together, and then I'm just gonna retie them again. So now I'm here, I'm gonna come back in again one more time, overhand tie, pull those legs through. Whoop. Can be a little bit of a challenge at times, but once you get those two legs through, again, cinch that knot down real tight so it's not gonna come out. And now I tied the one on the near side to you guys, and now I'm gonna tie that one on the near side to me. I'm gonna go ahead and tie that in. And that one actually seemed to sit properly as well. I'm on a roll tonight. Now I'm just gonna send my thread wraps rearward. I wanna try to make sure that the knee joint is equal to the one that's on the top. Sorry guys, this black shirt is not the right color for this fly. so that those are pretty even when it comes to the knee joints being even, okay? Now I'm gonna come in here and I'm gonna cut out these tags. Now don't throw those away because we're actually gonna use them. So now, one of the last parts of this is I'm gonna advance my thread so it's right up near the front of that foam that I've left. I'm gonna take both of these tags that I've had. Yeah, there you go, look at that. Oh, just golden. Some duct tape and a white sheet to your chest, that'll work.
Yeah, well,
you gotta do what you gotta do.
It's still not.
Almost worked. So I'm gonna come in here, guys, and I'm gonna fold over both of those remaining rubber legs because there's no point in wasting them. We're actually gonna use them right here. I'm gonna pull those, I tied them both in at the same time, couple thread wraps to hold them in place, and then I can go and I can slide them around to the edge of the fly on either side. Because this is gonna be the second set of legs that we tie in, and it gives you another two sets of legs, like that. Okay, and we're gonna separate those legs a little bit with that dubbing in just a moment. But that's how we're gonna leave that there, okay? So we've got all of our legs tied in at this point. We're almost done this fly. We just gotta add a little bit of dubbing and we're gonna wrap and separate the legs and then fold back over and finish the fly off, okay? So what I'm gonna do, and I suggest this time with this material we gave you, is again, cut it in half. So you get smaller fibers on this last bit of dubbing because you don't want it to be too long. It's gonna make it hard to separate and get the look we want up here at the head of the fly. I try to keep this dubbing noodle up here is maybe a little bit thinner than the last one. And you don't need to overdo it. We don't need a ton here, maybe 1.5 inches. And we might even end up pulling some off of the thread if we need to. So I don't want to put any dubbing in front of the very front of the fly, the very front set of legs, but I'm gonna put some in between. A couple of wraps.
Look at you're wearing.
Oh yeah, you can see me up. Oh, it's even better.
I know.
I didn't realize that part.
I was trying to do everything to make it brighter, but
just didn't work. So then I'm gonna pull those second set of legs.
Somebody screenshot this and share it all over the world.
So I'm gonna pull that second leg back, and I'm gonna get one wrap of this dubbing behind that. And like I thought, I probably had a little bit too much, so I'm gonna pull a little bit of that off. Okay. And now that my thread is hanging just behind this leg here, it's hanging there. I put one wrap of dubbing in there so you can see. So I completed the head there. We're basically gonna whip finish at this point once we pull this foam back over. So now I'm gonna pull the foam rearward.
So is it a waste of time to put a drop of glue in the knot? Well, some glues will actually weaken the rubber.
Yeah.
So I would.
If you're tying securely, you shouldn't need it at this point.
I don't for sure have the answer, but I wouldn't.
So once I've pulled that rearward, guys, I need both of those front set of legs, not the rear legs, but the front set of legs to be in front of that foam, which can be a little bit of a challenge if they're not cooperating like mine. So once I get that behind there, this is where I'm gonna pull down nice and hard. And I'm gonna set that little bubble head up here. And do a couple thread wraps there because we wanna make sure that's not going anywhere. And then we're gonna whip finish that fly right there, okay? So, but before I whip finish, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come in here. This is just ridiculous.
I think it's not working.
All I'm doing is I'm gonna come in here and cut a little triangle, making sure.
One of my favorite things about you is you're a gamer.
Oh, I don't care. Whatever. Let's do it.
Like Oman.
I should have just taken my shirt off. It'd have been white.
You should. You should. It'd be orange.
It would be orange.
Change the white balance.
Yeah, that's true. So all I did there, guys, I came in and cut a small little triangle. So that's kind of splaying out that wing and holding it back without kind of overdoing the fly, but gives a little bit of extra floatability. And now I'm going to come in here and I'm going to whip finish this. And this is going to be a little bit more challenging to whip finish with these legs in there, but we just take it slow. Like a good love story. Don't overdo it.
Ooh.
Yes.
But
so
what about...
He's got to work around those legs, guys.
What's that show where they're dancing in the rain and The Notebook?
Oh,
they didn't take it slow. Either did Titanic.
No. Actually
They
saw
would've
some.
gone slower, they probably wouldn't have hit the iceberg.
Oh, that's true. I don't think so. So I'm gonna do one more whip finish here, guys, because I really don't want this to come off. But
Mr. Maharishi gave you a compliment.
Did he? What did he say?
He said, and he wanted me to hit this button.
You're on fire.
Oh.
Yeah, he loved it.
I like that a lot.
He also wanted me to hit this button.
Wow.
Wow. What part of the love story, Tim? That's a good question.
That's a valid question.
The part when you're trying to get out? Is
Yeah.
that what you take slow?
No, if you need out, you run fast. Okay, guys, so we are almost done. Let's wrap this fly up. So first thing I'm gonna do.
No pun intended.
No pun intended.
Hey, Tim, tie that fly.
Tie it. I'm gonna come in here. I'm gonna start by cutting these front set of legs. These front ones I don't want very long. Okay.
Oh, Cam.
I'm just gonna.
It's so funny. He's texted me 800 times that he can't get the comments to show up.
Oh man. All I read was I'm headed to the yard to throw rocks at stuff. So pull those legs till they come tight, but not overdone. And we're gonna trim them a little, not short, but shorter. I actually want them a little shorter than that. I'll do the same thing to the top ones. Trying to keep them obviously as even as possible.
Hey, did anyone tell you we're going fishing tomorrow?
We are going fishing tomorrow. I'm pumped. Like so. And now on the back legs, you can see we have these two pieces to the thighs. We're gonna cut out just one of them. Okay. So now we got that. It'll lift my chest a bit there. We got that double thickness, and we have the one tag coming off, and we're gonna cut that so that back knuckle is about the same length as the front leg portion. And we're gonna cut out this one and do the same thing here. We're gonna cut just like so. Those legs don't need to be crazy, guys. They almost appear to be like a hopper sized leg accordingly to the fly itself. And that is your purple beetle. It is a lot of busyness up at the head of the fly, but once you get good at them and you tie a dozen or so, they'll whip out really quick.
It is not 400 below here. It is going to be probably 60 degrees Fahrenheit tomorrow.
Yeah, it's going to be super warm.
It was minus 400, but that's Canada and Alberta.
Yeah, that is true. So I'm going to take just a small drop of some head cement. I'm going to put it on the thread wrapped where I whip finished. And that is an end to this fly and the last fly of the night.
These are legit. Like, you have to know, Tim, they're complimenting you, and I'm not up for the worst background music in the history of live TV.
Nope.
I really up my game.
Background of the fly.
Yeah, you're gonna need your mic on.
Jeez.
Technical errors. The bib. We got it. Somebody's.
Yeah, we need a bib. That would be perfect.
The real Jen Lyle sews and makes things. So, see, look, that looks perfect.
That'd be awesome.
That looks
Seriously,
fantastic.
a white and black bib, we'd cover all the flies. I like that. That looks really good, actually.
Yeah.
I'd fish it.
I know you would.
Because I have.
Question, JB Lloyd says where? And see, when the comments come into our system, we don't know if you're replying to somebody's. So, yeah. If we're not. The 2 a.m. infomercial voice is on point in.
Oh, yes.
Well, Mr. Noveland, you can get 12 CDs for the price of $4.99.
Oh, man.
And if you buy now, in the yeah. Great job, Tim. Great job, Tim.
See that every day.
Thanks, Andy.
Yes.
Thanks for tuning in, man.
Andy.
Hillbilly Taxidermy.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Tim does make it look easy, but you guys should have seen him. I feel like I'm not a part of the program. Unless
I was like, let's look at you too.
Add the rally cap. We got the rally cap going in here. So the thing about hats, folks, is we're trying to figure out how to get hats to you without costing $4,000 for shipping. So
That's
tonight we're not giving away a hat, but we are going to give away here shortly, and I have a giveaway music that's not the music that you're hearing.
Oh, man.
But because the last week giveaway was botched and maybe some people think that it was rigged, the giveaway is going back into the pot to give away one of these.
Oh, baby. I think I'm going to wear mine tomorrow.
You should.
I should.
I won't. No ears. Okay, so we're going to do this. The Fly Fishing Bow River Outfitters brand new custom sun hoodies. These things are cold. It's on my lap and I'm cold.
Go
Shrinkage is real. That's how cold these things are,
There's
folks.
a flute, but it's
And Ron is already. People are already guessing the numbers.
Need
so
the shirt.
I do upsize. This is an extra large for me, and it's somewhat a little baggy. But I tried this on, and it fits if I was going to a show, and I mean
at the gym.
the Guns Out, Suns Out show. So what I will be doing is not wearing the extra large. I would go to a double XL. So you decide. We don't have a lot of options and sizes, and these are not for sale right now. But if you win, let me know what your size is, and maybe you want to upsize. If you're a little fluffier, then these shirts they're fitted. They're athletic shirts, folks. Let's just say that they are gear. They're not printed apparel. They are gear. And
gear.
so Cam finally got his comments back, and then he's ripping on me. I wonder if I can ban him for the night. Remove. Yes, Trout. Your nipples will be cutting glass. So yeah, we're gonna do this.
Yes.
Am I forgetting anything?
I don't think so. What could we be forgetting? We're both here.
I don't. Yeah, that's a good point. And the Flames are winning 6-1. So the Flames win 6-1. They lose 12-0. That's the Flames. Okay, so because Judd is from Texas, and he wants to see
too many bacon.
The
maple
bacon
donuts.
cam,
Oh,
folks.
man.
If you have a bakery that wants to sponsor just a donut or 3 for the show, I would be grateful.
Yes, we all would.
Right now, this is costing me about $5 a week to put things up there into the baking cam. Where are we at? Me and you.
Yeah.
Me and you.
Me and you.
Okay, we're gonna give this away, but I need to check with somebody first to see if I can add something to it. So what we need to do, because this will be the last, we're gonna wind down right away. I know it's only 9:02 and we're half an hour early because we usually go late lately. Let's play these commercials. Let me think of a way to give this away. We're gonna come back, give this away. We're gonna go back into what was your win for the week. So think about that, and hang tight.
Yeah.
With the amount of time we spend in front of our vices, don't you think you deserve a pair of scissors that can make the cut?
There are a lot of great rotary vices on the market, but only the Norvise spins the hook. It's for this reason that it's been said the Norvise is the most innovative fly tying system on the market.
We all deserve the right to stay organized, no matter what or where your space is. Your FlyKia table will turn any space into a well-organized fly tying realm. Own your domain.
Yes, own it.
Own it. Your domain.
Do you own it? That's the question.
I own it. I own my domain.
Okay, so because I love weird. Oh, Tim.
Tiny Tim.
Tim.
Tim is tiny.
Tim.
Getting bigger. The dramatic effect.
Okay, folks. What we need to do here
It's time to give away.
It's the final giveaway of the day, and you know what that means.
If I had my Drew's harp.
Yes, your Drew's harp. Pretty soon, you're not going to be able to call it that. All right, folks. If the music's too loud, I apologize. I'll turn it down a bit, but it's just really good music. So what I need to know before you guess is Benoit Farsi is in the house, and he was tying flies tonight. And he said that you... Oh, yeah. What did we add to this?
Right there. Oh, there it is. Suspense.
What did we add to this? We got some more new stickers here, folks. And again, I don't have 12 arms, but I do got 2, and they both work well. So let's play this. Okay. This is one of my favorite stickers that we got.
Come on now.
Come on.
That beard is just too magnificent. You can't focus on something in front of it. There you go. Love people, catch
Can you
fish.
guys read this? Love people, catch fish. That's what it's all about. So I'm going to add one of these stickers in. And also from our friends at Shore Fishing, we're going to add the titanium line nippers. So you're going to get the nippers, you're going to get the sticker, and you're going to get the Fly Fishing Bower Outfitters sun shirt. That's going to make your nipples hard as Cam makes fly time. Okay, so Benoit wants to know if you know, and you've got to guess it right, how many flies did he tie tonight? How many flies? He tied this many white muddlers.
Oh, good question.
This many. And hey, if you win prizes tonight, feel free to go online, buy yourself some stickers, and we will put them in the package with you. And that's fair. That's fair enough. Ben Armstrong, no. And folks,
whole list of numbers.
the winner is just what we can see here. We don't tell you. He might have been tying red hooks and might have 4,000. He might have 2 dozen. We don't know, but he doesn't. It's not 2 dozen. That's a fact. It's, oh yeah. I wonder who's going to win this one tonight. Again, this numbers game is just out of control. And there it is. Michael or Michel Dumont. I believe.
He tied 61 flies tonight.
Yes, what he said. 61.
I want proof.
61.
Come on, Benoit, send me a picture. That's insane.
61.
6-1. Wow, that's impressive.
Yes. Michel Dumont or Michael or Michelle. I think there's a Michael Dumont, and maybe I said Michael and it's Michelle. I don't know, but if it's you, whoever it was, you're watching on YouTube, you're the winner.
You are the winner.
So
Congrats.
yeah, I think you won a hat before, and I think if it's the same guy, it's $4,000 to ship to Edmonton.
Yeah. I'll meet you in Red Deer.
That's okay. Feel free to order some stickers, and we will drop those in the bag with you. So
awesome. Congrats.
This is our what we call final giveaway song. I like it.
Yeah, it's good. Got some groove to it. All day. Need some spoons.
Or some juice hearts.
Or a washing board.
Oh, here.
We need instruments. Oh, yeah.
Do you want a washboard?
Oh, that's...
Oh, talk about overexposure.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh my goodness, folks. That's when things get crazy. And
Ooh, there's a lot of guesses there.
that's a lot of flies he tied. See, there's Mike Dumont. I don't know. You're on YouTube, Michelle Dumont. Mike's got his wife watching on
Yeah.
YouTube, and
You
they're
sneaky
getting
guy.
double the odds. Okay. We're gonna. That song never ends. Apparently, it is catchy, right? So, yeah. Newmont had Town of State brown trout record, 32.4 pounds. Wow.
That's crazy.
That's
Where was that caught,
insane.
Roman? Is that a lake?
Yes.
It's gotta be a
Show
lake.
my fly. It's like rock polka. It is, yes. I love this song. I thought it was super catchy. And so that's how that goes down.
Yeah.
But
that was good.
As we wind down, we've got winners and we've got losers. But what we need to do, folks, is head over to the Norvise page and vote for our friend Chaz, as he is in the 3rd round. And this fly was pretty epic.
Yeah, it was great. It was a great digest.
Yeah.
They
Great
drew
time.
crayfish this week, so.
Yeah, and so he said it was inspired by Mr. Diesel himself.
Yeah, Sven's better. The cray.
Yeah, so here's one of my favorite parts of the night before. We were muted.
Perfect.
So
That's
yeah,
good.
you know, it was just new things, new scene, new this, new that. But this is what's your win?
What's your win?
And yeah, we just want to hear from you guys tonight. What your win is? Tim, you got a win for the week?
Well, I'm probably going to steal what yours is, but my win is that tomorrow, for the first time in quite a few months, I get to fish water that's not frozen. So I'm very excited to be on the bow, some open water, and getting to hang with some people and safely in the outdoors, which is one of the very few things we can actually do around here right now. So blessed to be doing that. Very thankful. That's my big win for the week. I'm looking forward to it. How about you? What's your win?
My win is I just felt good all week. I know counterproductive to winning is on Monday we felt as a province that we were going to get a lot of new openings for the restrictions, and yeah, it's kind of was very disappointing in that aspect. But you know what? It actually rattled me really hardcore and for a whole day, and then I kind of shrugged it off and I said, hey, we can't control that stuff, because we can't. We really can't. I wish we could. We can sit here for 5 hours and complain about politics. We can complain about opinions, left side versus right side. It's not going to change anything. And I texted Steven Genlisle and I said, hey, let's go for a walk. And so I got to spend 2 nights walking around town with Steven. And then we went for wings last night, I believe it was.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's just the little things, but it was just like made me feel really good. We planned a fishing trip tomorrow. We're gonna go float the Bow River, and that's awesome. I'm super pumped for that, because it's just I gotta go fishing yesterday. I went stood in the water for a couple hours and got my butt kicked. But the idea of it is that I gotta stand in the water, and tomorrow get to hang out. We're allowed to hang out outside with 10 people, and so me and Tim and Steve and Rand, we're all gonna go float the bow, and we're gonna have good times. We're gonna go to the Italian Center. We're gonna get some chocolate croissants. We're gonna get our favorite sandwiches from the Italian Center. It's just little things, folks, that make this the wins, and that's why we decided that we're gonna bring this in every week as a bit of a segment, is because it's powerful that together we have a lot of fun. We make fun of each other. We wear hats funny like this. We give you guys some gifts. We got lots of support from awesome people that make that happen. We got the baking cam. We got bingo. Tim crushes a couple awesome flies out there. But it's the little things that are going to make us happy. Doug Lindsay got released from the hospital in time to be with us. So
that's awesome.
Doug, hope you're doing awesome, man. And we appreciate that. And thankful that you're out of the hospital.
Yeah.
Brent says, my win this week was selling my dad's condo, as he has had to move into an assisted live facility. So, yeah, so...
Bittersweet.
Yeah, no, I wasn't sure how to respond, because it is...
But I know that the stress on families when you're trying to do that move and then also have a home you're trying to get rid of, I can only imagine the relief that gives you, so that's awesome.
Bag says tonight is his win, and Trevor Montgomery says my win is my 2.5-year-old grabbed my fly rod and pointed at the door saying, fish, fish, proud dad moment there. That doesn't get any better than that.
So cool.
Laura, who I don't believe is Laura, my oldest just got his learners on his 14th birthday.
Wow, that's awesome.
That's super fantastic, so we need to stay off the sidewalks. Thursday Night Live, Fly Time is the win. Terry visited West River Fly Shop the other day. Troy was telling me about that. That's pretty awesome. Mike DeMont, my win is that I went to the doctor for the first time in about 12 years for a yearly checkup that I haven't been doing, and all is good and I'm healthy. And that is absolutely fantastic.
So good.
Cam, although he's not allowed to comment, he's back, and Chloe turned 18 this week, so that's freaking awesome. Yeah, and scary-ish.
Yeah. Let him go.
Ken said the gas plant shut down, starting finally getting some work since almost a year. So super good for you, Ken. We understand that the financial stress is sometimes all overwhelming, and we're glad that you're getting work back out there. Joel said that the dog's surgery cost less than estimated and will be a quick recovery. That is a fantastic win, because that also is a lot of stress. Jade said lots of wins this week. Morgan getting into university for his passion, which I think we talked about on the Zoom call that other night.
It's amazing.
He disappeared off the screen. Me getting through a full week of work and some sunshine and days spent in the mountains, and then obviously here at Thursday Night Live. Other win, I just ordered some TNL stickers, Justin. We appreciate it. We'll get those out to you first thing in the morning. Tonight's patterns are going in the swim tank. Check it out, 007 DCR. He always puts his flies in the swim tank. JB Lloyd says good beer. My win is I had a split on the skin of my heel for a week, and it's now healed. And that is good, because it's frustrating when things aren't healing, and like that, just something minor, but it can be big, and that healed up for Ron, so that's fantastic. Ryan took his daughter to see his sick grandfather and ate a full meal for the first time in a month. And I think that's your grandfather. So.
You see, the thing, guys, we don't, I think we kind of skip over and thought sometimes is this has been a tough year in general. Things like that, you know, even in the job that I work in, we see so many of the elderly who don't even get to see their family or haven't seen their family in months.
Yeah.
And I can only imagine what it's like to just be able to, for someone to see their granddaughter and, you know, feel the love that comes from that. And we certainly can't overlook all these little wins mean so much in comparison to what this year has been for a lot of people. Like getting work after a year being off. Like, you know, the stress of that and the relief that comes from getting back to work. What an answer to, I mean, we'll call it an answer to prayer, because that's what we believe in. But whatever you believe in or don't, it's just something out there is working.
It's an answer to your conversation with whatever. But Sean said, my win, hammered 22 brookies last weekend, lost 30, but it was all good 55. Well, Sean booked a trip on the bow, and he's going to learn that those numbers do not come.
Or not realistic.
Does not. Only a few people on the lake do the roads, but the conditions were awesome for the fishing, and that's usually the best time to go fishing, is when most people don't make it out. Mark said, ran 10K twice this week.
Awesome.
Caught my Bow River Brown, wrote some stuff, keep pushing.
Mark, give me a shout, man, if you're in Red Deer. I like running.
Yeah. Bylos has been fly tying and practicing new techniques. Also been in the firing range, shooting targets and getting ready for hunt season.
Nice.
Elk in the freezer in 6 months. Heck yeah. Chaz said the wins is the community. Tim and Dana felt sunshine on my face and saw my son smile at me. And nothing is better than seeing Nolan smile.
No, nothing.
That is a fact. Cody is going fishing and winter camping with the fam this weekend. And he even convinced his wife to go.
That's awesome.
That's awesome. Yeah, so Judd says that the crayfish digging tide for Norvise is my biggest win. That's really cool, man. Good job there. Quinn says his win was seeing me and Tim tonight.
Yeah.
I added that. Finished some much needed rentals on the house, which has made my wife very happy.
We know what the
Happy
saying
wife,
is.
happy life. Marvin's contract got renewed. Keep your head up, buddy. Better times ahead.
Yeah.
Flames. This is the Flames, man.
7-3.
Yeah, and so James said Jim. His mom got her vaccine, so that's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
That is super awesome. We love you too, Matthew. And so we're just trying to. Benoit finished editing the web series we put up, which is stressful. It's stressful. I hear you. I feel your pain. But September, my friend, you're coming down, and we're gonna make some more stressful
Can't wait.
things. Sean, COVID test for his kid came in negative. That's super awesome.
Wicked. Yeah.
Good win for me is drinking homemade beer that will be. Is drinking my homemade beer that will be ready Saturday. So
Awesome.
your win, Tavis, is about to come. Well, folks, it's been a crazy, awesome week and a really fun Thursday night spent with all of you guys. We're back here next Thursday.
That's a whole week away. the hardest part because today is the day we're the farthest away from Thursday.
That's true, but tomorrow we're closer.
Yes.
And so
what's next week? What are we tying?
The Nancy P. Streamer.
Ooh, that's a big one.
The Elk Hair Caddis. So
all the good ones.
That's gonna be a good week. Just a note for people: if you go to the brewery and pick up kits, we have no expectations. We have no rules about it. But if you're gonna go in there and grab 2 or 3 kits, make sure that it's actually legit because we just kind of want everybody to get a chance to tie along with us. And feel free to grab some beer from the brewery and support them. That benefits us nothing. During these times, we're just trying to like keep people going to the brewery, drinking awesome beer. But yeah, guys, get down to the brewery. We put out 20 kits every single week for you guys that are local, so that people that wouldn't have a chance or are new to fly tying or just want to give it a try, that is for you. And are you guys wearing pants? No, we've not worn pants once this year.
Yeah, not once.
Why would you wear pants? You can't see them.
That's a great question, though.
We could do an under desk camera just for Doug.
You wouldn't want that.
If you want.
You would not want that.
Yeah. Love you guys.
Yeah.
Dana Ladder with Fly Fishing Boat Outfitters.
That's Tim here, also with Fly Fishing Boat Outfitters, guys. Can't wait to see you next week.
Yeah.
Love you all.
Be kind. Love each other. See you next week.
See you.
I